roll. मेरे को 1 मिनट के लिए श्रद्धा कपूर को मार रहा है। मैं शेल्डन के ऊपर निकला है। तो ये क्या हो गया?
अरे
हाँ
नाइस वन। ओह
जीवल सारे लगता है तेरा घंटा बजाना ही पड़ेगा।
अबे सही में बेंच
सही तो है
जोक्स था।
निकल के लॉल ओह माय गॉड क्या मैं लगा ही नहीं हेडशॉट चला सीधा सीधा शॉट लगा तो डीगल मत करता
मैं ना आने तो बेटा
सीधा तो मार लो घूम घूम के मारे तो सीधा साधा तो शॉट लग नहीं रहा तुम्हारा
ओके सॉरी थैंक यू बाय बाय
ब्रो बाउंस मत कर
ओके बाय बाय
दो एयर सिटीज थे यार छू भी देता नाइट मरीन ना इधर
ओके बाय बाय ओके बाय बाय
हाँ
बढ़िया
साले शेडलन अपने स्पॉट में क्या
Counter-Strike, I don't blame you. It's true. Over to the panel for a moment then, Chad. You thinking with your heart, you're thinking with your head?
I've gone against Astralis way too many times this tournament, and every time they've come out on top, I think I have to go with Astralis here. I think just how well-rounded they looked yesterday, the type of Counter-Strike that they were playing, I can see it happening again today.
Shawnee.
Yeah, I've also gone against Astralis way too many times this event, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going Na'Vi. I think Simple is going to take this game. I wrote Astralis down this morning, but Simple Electronic, I'm looking for them to dominate this series.
Oh, and I'm still scared to say mine. I don't even know yet. Let's check in with our worst analyst, actually. She's got the lowest percentage. But let's have a look. Maybe this will be a tale to tell. Maybe Eggs gets it right in the grand finals. Okay.
All right.
She's just getting her footing. It's a big choice.
It is the biggest decision so far.
This is the big one.
She can make up for all the errors.
She can redeem herself here. She's looking. I think she's looking at Astralis.
Whoa.
Whoa! Okay, another for Na'Vi. But we just said she gets everything wrong. What do we do now?
She's been sandbagging until the finals, obviously. She's been waiting for the finals, get you all betting the wrong way, taking all that money afterwards.
A Counter-Strike shark. Okay, I think I'm going to have to, I have to do this. I have to say Astralis. I truly cannot wait to see if Na'Vi can do it, but my head is telling me that after predicting Astralis and then the 16-0 MIBR, I just forever, a wound has been left. You can't doubt them. James, Dan, will be checking back in with you when that game goes live, and I can't wait to hear you boys go nuts. Cheers, he says, to the crowd alone. Okay, so now we can focus on the first map. The first map is Nuke, gentlemen, and I can't see a world where you're going to tell me that Na'Vi can do this. No one has. 18-0, undefeated on this map. How would it happen, Chad?
Well, we saw yesterday what Liquid were able to do on the low buys. It was quite messy, actually, from the team of Astralis when they were taking the lower bomb side. Also in Yard, there was some really cool kills by Naf with the Deagle, twisted a lot of damage. So they can be pressure points because if Liquid can do it, Na'Vi are actually the best team in the world at those kind of rounds. So that means that if they can replicate this and then close down some gun round scenarios, they can get on top of that economy. They also get to start on the CT side in this situation.
True.
Look, the more impressive thing about this Astralis stat on Nuke is the majority of the time they pick it, which means the majority of the time they start on the T side. If you're winning that map time and time again from the T side, it means you have a huge amount of depth. Wow. It means that you're super prepared with a lot of different strategies. And we saw a couple of new looks come out yesterday, especially with top hits, how much control they were getting under, their protocols taking that part of the map. So you need to stifle them, you need to make sure that they can't get map control.
But you've also told me that Na'Vi, when they win the pistol, they always convert to the first 3. If that's on the CT side of Nuke, there's some money, Sean, and that could get the ball rolling.
I definitely think so. I think Simple can control the outside yard, secret the outside ramp, yard, and maybe upper. Ramp. And maybe upper.
On his own?
On his own?
Yes, they will float him around the map the entire CT half, and he will not have a solid spot. And that's something that could catch Astralis off guard, because we didn't really get to see that yesterday out of Nitro.
I mean, that's something to keep our eyes on as well. Let's not forget, you've got Electronic, who if you want to set up a turret, you just say Electronic, and you just say a call out, ramp, and he's done. He sets up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with this kid, right? But the problem here with him is, and if he comes out here and he plays the same form of Counter-Strike we've seen the rest of the tournament, he's a legitimate top tier, top 5 Counter-Strike player in the world right now. Because this is the biggest pressure he's ever been under on a stage like this. You have to factor that in. When you look on the booth on the other side, like I said, 4 of them have already won a trophy like this.
And someone to focus on now is the man who's going to be doing a lot of the talking in that booth. A pat on the back from Electronic, it's Zeus. What a story from Zeus. I mean, this is an in-game leader who left the Na'Vi team behind, left the jersey behind, and lifted a trophy with another roster. Now he's back, and he's in another grand final. There has to be some praise given here.
So many doubters, too, over the years for Zeus. He's historically put up low numbers as a fragger, but his teams are always up at the top. You cannot argue that he is not a good in-game leader. His teams produce results. Their trading is always excellent, and their map pools are very deep.
And he is a leader. He is that, leader you look to. He's loud, he's proud, he gets in your face. These guys argue, but they still make it work. And that's so impressive with the different styles of Counter-Strike that he's actually, put out there over his tenure as a top-tier player. He's played really slow, very strat-heavy, and now they play a lot looser. He works with the tools that he's got, and he gets the best out of them time and time again. Going toe-to-toe with Glaive, who took over from Carrigan, that's, a team which was already set up for greatness. He came in and pushed them across the line. Zeus has been building this for some time.
Yeah, and you can just see that as the huddles are still going on, at least for Na'Vi, that it's just the last couple of words, perhaps going over the first round, perhaps talking about the fact that you have to play like you're in your living room. You can't remember you're in front of thousands live who are going to be making a ruckus, as well as, of course, the hundreds of thousands watching at home, Sean. That you can't have that in your head.
I don't think they will. These are experienced veterans. They went through this in Cologne a month ago almost against Astralis. They've been there. They've done that. They've played tight games with Astralis too. These aren't blowouts by any means. Every game is very close, goes down to the wire. So I don't think we'll see any shaking nerves come out of Na'Vi.
Edward's glancing at the crowd, and I think one more time, London, I would love it if we could get those flashlights out. Just show them how many of you are here to watch them do what they do best. They can't hear you, but they sure as hell can see you. Let me see those lights. That's beautiful, and the players are taking to their seats, which means only one thing. I want to hear you, Wembley, on the count of 3. It's time for your casters to take over. 1, 2, 3! James, Dan, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Alex. Yes, Wembley, it is time! I was ready, James. Our teams are ready. The countdown's begun. I cannot wait to see
So we have a false start. That's the way we love to start a grand final.
We've all been trolled, James.
Not just yet, lads. Not just yet. Trollerino trying to disrupt some momentum early. Hopefully this gets sorted soon.
Yes, that would be
fantastic.
That'd be lovely.
There we go. The round has been restored. Maybe somebody bought dual Bretters by mistake. Who knows? But I think we'll be into this one soon. So Na'Vi versus Astralis. It could really go either way. But for me, it would be such a shame to see Simple leave another final without the championship. I think he deserves it. Okay, so someone forgot to connect to the communication server. That is why we haven't started.
My goodness.
Hold on, lads. I don't think I've ticked all the boxes.
These guys are professionals, James.
We will see them in action very soon indeed. Quick alt tab and we should be good to go. Shout out to the keyboards. Always nice to see a keyboard.
You brought, what, 6 keyboards to the show match today?
Oh, there's Get Right's head. I signed his forehead earlier.
Right.
He didn't reply to me.
James, which way is this one going to go? We've got Nuke
the chicken
here.
went for Na'Vi, Dan.
Well, yes.
So I think that says it all.
But this is Nuke, James. No one has been seen really challenging Astralis, already pushing them into that top gear just yet. And one thing we know about Na'Vi, Simple said it before, they love the emotional games. They really bring their best when the going gets tough, and it can't get tougher than this.
Finally, it's time to start the damn match! Everyone's on the team speak. Here we go. Astralis will be on the offensive. The desk showed how dangerous they can be on this T side, and they've got the grenades again. Glaive and Zipex have nasty plans in mind for Na'Vi. You have 4 players of Kevlar. Zeus has a kit if necessary, and Astralis will try to make it so.
Yeah, looking like they just want to go straight outside, down secret. Electronic will spot it though, which Astralis likely know that will be the case. They don't care. They're just going to keep barreling down as quickly as they can into that lower bomb site. Flamey awaits Simple in position as well. Astralis, they know they are expected. They know that Na'Vi have rotated lower. Will they try to play them for fools, or will they just still try to use that firepower and make it work regardless? Flamey plays around the smoke, pops one. More to be had here as he tries to get it Glaive. I don't know how Astralis can get this bomb down right now. Na'Vi players everywhere. Another one coming in here. This is looking way too easy for Na'Vi so far. Just Dupree alone.
3 kills for Flamey. Looking like he's invisible at the moment, but not anymore. Dupree's done something, but not enough. Na'Vi get off to a solid CT pistol round. That looks very comfortable indeed. They had expectation of Astralis, and they managed to deal with it. And of course, Astralis have to be the most studied team in Counter-Strike. How do they keep surprising their opponent?
It's a very good point, James. One of the reasons of their consistency has been that their basics, their fundamentals are so untouchable, their defaults. Well, there's no one that can come close to them. And that is one of the secrets of Astralis and their success. And Na'Vi looking to make things dirty here, as Sean said, that they are the team to rip them apart. We'll see if they can get off to a good start here, or if these Deagles, this CZ and the Scout that Astralis have force bought into, these are going to provide some problems. Na'Vi need that clean start. They've got to get a good economy straight away.
Will he see 1? Will he see 2? Glaive holding an angle, but you could argue that Electronic is better equipped. Now this is a full investment from Astralis. They've left no money for AWPs. Everybody's in to try and get this one. Well, that was a close one. Device down to 1 HP. Here's Dupree taken out on top of the roof. Nuke more awkward now outside than it used to be. Electronic still has a secret position, which means that Na'Vi can focus on A. Although Simple's now been picked off. But he's not always the most dangerous person on Na'Vi. You have Electronic as well. Very dangerous indeed. Flamey with the... Oh my! Okay, maybe there's a plant in this. 3-on-3. This could get dangerous for Na'Vi.
Yeah, Zipex looking quite savage so far with that Deagle, very fast. And now Zeus asking some questions in the lower bomb side. We'll spot 1, and there's the bomb as well. Down on the floor, 30 seconds to go. Zipex holds the angle, looking to be a turret, and Device has to go get the bomb. 1 HP, not good enough. Zipex still doing more damage though, caught out in the open. Deagle comes back out in time. Still has some bullets to throw at Zeus, but Zeus will get it done. Na'Vi will clean up the round, but that round looked dangerous.
Yeah, 3 players lost for Na'Vi. That's a pretty good round for Astralis. It's all about the impact to the CT economy once you lose the pistol. Now, once Astralis come to their buy rounds, if they are able to be successful, then those kills will most certainly pay off. For now, Na'Vi will continue 3 SMGs, and we see no investment from Astralis whatsoever in this round. 5 Glocks, 5 meat shields, maybe a bomb plant would be nice, but again, they can still try to focus on thinning out the utility for Na'Vi. Even if they don't get a kill, they can make them spend their grenades, those expensive $600 incendiaries. Plenty to spend money on for the next round for Na'Vi if Astralis give them the time to burn.
Yeah, it's a really good point, especially as mentioned, both these teams just do damage in every single round, and it can be the difference between a rifle now and later on. It does seem like things will be cleaned up, and they actually get a kill out of these Glocks. Oh, okay, there comes another one. Now Glaive will pick up the bomb again, down low. Surely, oh, I think he's just missed the bomb. Maybe there could have been a chance at a very quick plant, but it will be denied. But still, Na'Vi will lose 2 players, and as you mentioned, they expended a lot of utility in that round. So Astralis, despite having very little, keeping them on their toes.
The buy coming out now for Astralis. 5 AK-47s and plenty of grenades. We know they're capable of fast plays. Who knows if we've seen their whole strap bag just yet here on Nuke. Na'Vi will have to be on their toes. For now, they will keep the money together and continue with the 2 MP9s rather than upgrading to the rifles. Let's see what Astralis can get into. Glaive with a smoke early to take away any vision of a sniper rifle. There is one on Simple, and the player is close to the CT side already. Astralis and Ninjas in Pajamas, 2 of the more notable teams on the old Nuke. But can Na'Vi match Astralis here?
Yeah, so we'll see those very late outside smokes covering a path to Secret. Now for Na'Vi, they don't 100% know whether or not players are going down there, but they have Electronic in a nice off angle trying to keep tabs on this. Let's see if he's going to be able to deal with these AKs. He has the MP9. They're going to line up potentially. No, there comes a very nice peek from Device. Expectant, cognizant, and Astralis will move forwards down to that lower bomb site.
Ramp is in the control of the CTs, and Control is in control. That room there is referred to as Control, but Flamey gets taken out of there. Molotov on the more important side. It's a cheeky peek from Glaive. He's blind, but he will manage to escape, and oh dear, Dupree will ring the bell of Simple. And that leaves only 2 Na'Vi players left, and now you start to wonder already about the economy for the Na'Vi side. The first buy round for Astralis, they've not lost a single player.
Yes, that is very troublesome. Can Edward hold on to his M4? And will we be seeing any AWPs here from Na'Vi? Might be a while. We'll have to wait and see in how much money they have in the next round. I don't think they have enough with this loss bonus. So that's a worrying sign straight away. And that goes to show, just as you mentioned, James, in the Glock round, 5 Glocks, they have nothing. They kick 2 kills somehow to Astralis, and they burn all that utility. And that's why Na'Vi now don't really have any security going into the next round after losing this one. So Astralis, despite that shaky start, still looking like they might just be in control of Nuke.
Moving into round 5, you will soon see how important the kills in round 2 were for Astralis and what they've done to the CT economy. They're actually going to buy up Na'Vi, but they're going to buy with very limited supply. They have a UMP instead of a rifle, and it's used on the auto shotgun. It can be used well at close range. It was had a better spread, an improved spread from the devs, but still not an ideal situation here for Na'Vi. For those of you new to the game, the outlines of the players are just for spectators. The players cannot see that, just so we can see where everybody is. Right then, will we see a more aggressive Na'Vi here on Nuke, because they don't really have the grenades to hold as much map control as they otherwise might have liked to.
And we can see Dupree actually just making a lot of noise on the silo. I think they're trying to suggest perhaps maybe there's more players outside than they may intend to finish the round with. We'll have to see how it will develop here for Astralis. Electronic with a very fine angle there from the garage. He's fairly safe in that position, and lots of noise has been made outside for Astralis so far, but yet they've yet to really push all that far, and we can see that they start to go and check the forward positions once again. Perhaps trying to bait out a reaction from Na'Vi, knowing that Na'Vi don't have a lot, well, better weaponry than they do, that maybe Na'Vi might take some risks. They're really trying to force those risks, but Na'Vi holds strong so far.
Simple was in the ramp area, or the B area. As you can see, he's moved back to a more passive position, so he can retreat without getting trade fragged. You can see 4 Astralis players moving together. If you're wondering why, they're trying to use the numbers game to abuse the CTs, who'll have to defend with less numbers, but so far so good for the CTs. 2 kills, Edward and Simple, of course. Dupree down low, but there's 2k for him. Now what do they do? 25 seconds on the clock. Where are the rest of the CTs? Where is it safe to plant the bomb?
Flamey long range with the UMP. It's not exactly ideal. He does have a teammate to come in to support him in Electronic with the M4, but very limited utility here. Some strong angles held by Astralis post plant. Again, there is some time here to work something, but it's going to be very difficult. Edward will make his way in on the flank, looking to see if he can somehow get something done as he moves forwards. It might be his player that can set his team forwards, or perhaps Electronic. Electronic causing a distraction. Edward, perfect, gets the flank off. Now just Device in a 1 versus 2. He can't do it, but Edward can. And Na'Vi shut down Astralis after just losing a round.
Is there time to defuse the bomb, though? Because he doesn't have a kit. It's going to be a close one. I'm not sure if he's got it.
Oh no! Oh, so close!
Only Edward gets away, just in case. He picked up the sniper rifle and took it to a safe haven, but they were like 0.3 seconds away from winning that one. And again, you go back to round number 2, Astralis did so much damage. Na'Vi have to cut corners. The last 3 players at the very least don't have a defuse kit, and that's what causes them to lose the round. So again, it is the impact of Astralis early on in these rounds which allows them to win that round later on.
I can't believe it, James. It looked like it was so smooth for Na'Vi, just so shy of time, but we do get the tactical timeout coming in from Na'Vi to decide what to do with this situation. They have a very limited amount of money across the remaining players, around $2,500 and less, but Simple, he saved an AWP, has an AWP, and that is perhaps always a reason to just force buy it.
Yeah, I think it might be hard though on Nuke, because obviously if you have a map like Inferno, where you've got the funnel choke points, if you will, you can rotate to a different position and try and surprise people, but that might not be the easiest thing to do, and he would really have to increase his risk percentage to be effective if it was just a hero AWP. But again, we've got the SMGs, and there are places where they can be put to good use. But we've got a fast play into the squeaky door position. It's been blown off, but you still has the high ground now. But Zipex will fix him off guard. More CTs in the A site though, but the trades go the way of Astralis. 2 players left, Simple dropping the bomb for now, and now it's 1 versus 3. He can't peek this forever. He's got to find something and get away. Oh, he's going for the no-scope, but that will be a nice spread of that Molotov, and it will force him back.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like there could be too much for Simple to accomplish here. He has to start considering, do I just save this up into the next round and maybe try and do something different? Try to reset it with the AWP, and it might just be the case here as he holds the ramp position. And you can see that Na'Vi even had a good setup to defend that upper bomb site. The only thing that was open was main, and Astralis had such a fast timing. And then they started with that first kill on Zeus on the hut position, and then the defense started to topple. So very well selected rounds chosen by Astralis. But again, Simple is always the X factor, James, and he has an AWP still.
He has, but he's had an AWP for more than 1 round now, I think, and hasn't really helped them much, has to be said. They won the pistol. Beyond that, it's essentially a 3-0 scoreline for Astralis. Not much going the way of Na'Vi at the moment. Astralis are imposing their will. There is the man Zonic. After every draw throughout this tournament, that man spends hours counter-stratting their opponents every single time. Very integral part to the Astralis team, who have now tied the score and are in a much better situation. They've got money for a second buy if they are to lose a round, and now we have that hero AWP. Simple with the sniper rifle, the rest on pistols.
Can he do it somehow? Can he find a way? Oh, there's a missed HE. Oh my goodness, it does a lot of damage to his teammates. Device and Zipex a little bit tagged up because of that missed HE. That was supposed to blow open the squeaky door to allow a very fast timing to peek through it, to catch anybody coming through main, but well, it shouldn't matter too much for Astralis. They, of course, have significant advantages in this round, but they know that Simple is somewhere with an AWP. Always a problem, always a consideration, as they start to try to safely take the outside position with those smoke grenades.
So as you can see in the top right corner, that is a balcony the CTs could stand on, but the smoke obscures the vision also from the garage, which is opposite Edward, and other places. So But you never know, with these smokes down, unless you have a CT on these stairs, you don't know if people have gone down or not. So it's really hard to try and position your team, if you are Na'Vi right now, in the right places to deal with what might be happening. Just want to go for that information. It's a risk as well. As you can see, they've only got pistols. Edward looking for a headshot, but he will be the recipient. And now it's a case of try to save the AWP. This is a round which Na'Vi are probably not going to win. And at this point, it might not be worth trying to save the weapon, but Simple's on the ramp and he's still looking into the B bomb site.
Yeah, maybe he can get a cheeky kill. Maybe someone will overextend and Simple can snap them up. But Astralis, one of the most disciplined teams, as easily spotted out. Oh, hello, maybe not, but still, Zipex gets the kill, and everything will be fine there for the Danes as they go back to the upper bomb site and get the plants in order. And Simple, once again, as you say, just sort of playing, well, just battle royale here, just trying to survive against the onslaughts. And once again, looks like he will save the AWP. And this next round, they're going to have to make it count. His teammates will have a full buy. It will be, I think, the first full-on buy we're going to see from Na'Vi, in fact.
The loss bonus will be 2,900. They are quickly heading towards max loss bonus, which is 3,400. But all the money in the world may not save them from Astralis the way things are looking at the moment.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, they're everywhere, and that's it. Straight in the side of the head. Simple's AWP is gone in the most important round, James.
Very efficient from Astralis. They allow Na'Vi to take nothing into the next round. Very expensive to buy up on the CT side, but indeed their money is in the right place. Simple with 5,500. If he buys the AWP, he will be light on grenades. Very light indeed. In fact, he will have no grenades whatsoever. It was a late buy. I don't know if it was just a late buy or if they were discussing rifles and more grenades, but here we are. He's on the AWP once again. 5 for 5 at the moment is Simple. Ooh, we've got vintage plays now, opening the squeaky door to have a look into the garage and politely closing it. He has been well raised by his parents.
Quite the gentleman. Na'Vi waits to see what moves are made by Astralis, and the longer they wait, maybe the more awkward this becomes. And we can see Astralis are setting up a lot of nades here, perhaps into that upper bomb site with a set piece. And you can do a lot of very, very solid set pieces into this upper bomb site. Molotov, everything, top of the heart, just the rafters, just making life impossible for the CTs. And oh, the triple nade, Astralis. That is their signature move, it seems. Innovating with moves like that. And that's some of that demo viewing that Zonic has done.
Yeah, and you can see they had a Molotov on the floor as well, potentially to bait someone into expecting them to push that door and stand in position for those grenades. They're dangling a carrot on a rope, no biters this time. Na'Vi still with 5 alive, trying to hold on to that smoke for as long as possible because it could be crucial.
Na'Vi almost out of utility in its entirety. It's going to be very difficult to hold a fast rush without kind of utility, and Glade will make a quick move here towards the ramp, start to suggest some pressure, some presence. And then he backs away again. Na'Vi still not sure exactly what's going on right now, but here come the grenades, and Astralis, they have no more time. They've got to commit with this and push forwards, and Device opens things up with the first frag. Edward up high on the rafters. My God, Glaive, that's fantastic. Zeus, can he be better? That's one down, more to go as he tries to swing around the side. He's successful, but 10 seconds to plant the bomb. Can Zeus do this? Can he survive? No, Dupree shuts it down, and Astralis with a very slow round. Play it perfectly from start to finish.
Takes as long as it takes, but they move in with confidence. What an entry from Glaive, almost looking directly up and shooting straight in the face. There we have Electronic getting punished for looking for information, wondering what Astralis were up to. Surely somewhere there's a gap in the defenses, but apparently not. At this point, doesn't really matter how many Astralis players are lost because they are winning every single round. And indeed, Na'Vi are now at maximum loss bonus. This means that between their buys, they've got enough money to buy Kevlar and a pistol, the odd grenade here or there. So these rounds can still be dangerous for Astralis.
Absolutely. These players lurking all over the place with these pistols. A couple headshots and the round swings. Perhaps Edward can have a better time of it in this round, being the solitary deagle. That one-shot kill potential at any range is strong as Zipex with the transfer. That is fancy stuff there from the man as he falls back to safety.
So again, where Zipex was standing there is a good position if you're on an anti-eco, because if you get pushed from the door, from the hut, from the squeaky area, you can enable yourself to have a 1 versus 1, and you can easily retreat if you need to and have more 1 versus 1s or otherwise. So you don't want to go too deep on your own if you're the only person in that area and most of your team are focusing on the outside. Edward now alone trying to hold on to an AK. He's got 2 kills in this round, but again, it's not really amounting to much here for Na'Vi. Beyond the pistol, we're looking at 0-6 in favour of Astralis, and that does not bode well for the remainder of this half.
Absolutely. It is always a dangerous sign to see Zipex having a good game as well. And so far he looks very focused indeed. And Edward, can he save this AK? Oh, Glaive is close. He is standing there. It's a big goal. It surely should go his way. Oh my God, he finally gets it right at the end there. So keeping that AK into the next round. Always nice to have an AK on that CT side. And as we move into the next round, as you mentioned, James, there's a lot to answer for here for Na'Vi.
That transfer was outstanding. Zipex, always my pick. For those of you in GoTV or the Twitch Premium Pass, Zipex should always be watched. And somebody made a thread recently asking why. The reason why is because his decision-making is something that you can learn from. If you look at what he is doing, I think if you ask yourself what you would do in his position, often it will be a more aggressive play. But he can allow you to have a better balance by watching what he does and play for your team instead of playing for yourself. That is why you should always watch Zipex when he's on the server.
Yeah, he definitely embodies that sort of consistent approach that Astralis have from a decision-making perspective, for sure. And as we go back into this one again, Na'Vi, they have so much money now as they have the full loss bonus of $3,400. They've got the AWP on simple, the majority of nades that you would need to have a decent CT defense. But they need something more than that. And they got some aggression here, perhaps outside. The forward smokes come in. Electronic into a forward position. There's a flash for him. But Device over the top here, looking to see if he can find this push. But nothing is given away from Na'Vi so far. And in go those triple nades once again to the top of Hut. But you can see that Na'Vi don't have anyone there.
The funny thing is, in the earlier rounds, Zeus was playing there.
Yeah.
But now perhaps Na'Vi are terrified of going there ever, because we're seeing it repeatedly now. So that may condition them to almost have like a weaker approach to the squeaky door position, which may pay off later on. Electronic is on fire! And now he is barbecued by the gun of Glaive. The AK runs hot. Simple moving away from the outside area. So this is a lot of map control which has been taken by Astralis, and it has the effect of denying information for Na'Vi unless they want to take a risk and look towards the balcony. Otherwise it is complete guesswork, and you can see from their positions they don't know what's going on. But Zeus is looking for information. If he holds here and these players move through at the right time, you might see something. Trying to double pick on the CTs, edging forward is Zipex. Now Magix has to back off. He's in a 1 versus 1, but he's carrying the bomb. He cannot afford to take this duel and lose.
Yeah, and there's not much time left, and holding lobby as a CTs is a very aggressive maneuver, and it can really cause problems for the T side because you get so much information. And as you mentioned, that bomb is, oh dear, hello, didn't expect that one, Edwards. Straight through radio room is Glaive as Astralis make the move, the decision to go towards the upper bomb site, and it was a great call. As we can see, they are flooding in there, and it doesn't look like Na'Vi are really in position to do anything here. They have just been completely outplayed in this round, and Device will make it worse. As once again, it is just, it's Save Simulator 2018 here for Simple.
Yeah, and they're downloading the DLC as well at this point. So you saw the bomb was, Zipex was in that same position and Magisk was holding the bomb behind him. Denial of information is very important for a T side. If the CTs figure out where the bomb is going, it makes it easier for them to try and win a round. So he had to not try and trade the frag. Again, if he loses, maybe that's what causes Na'Vi to win a round. Simple, almost a highlight, but not quite. Dupree will delete him, rub him out with an eraser. 7-3, 7 rounds in a row for Astralis. Getting to the point where they're going to start to lose money because they're winning all the rounds. Not quite there just yet, but they are close. Now, Na'Vi for the most part have $3,500, but Edward had 8,800. So he spent some money and put an AWP on Simple. And he's brought down, he's gone essentially for a force buy. So this is some kind of weird half buy from Na'Vi. can it make the difference?
Well, in this level of play, Astralis may never expect this. We'll have to see. Magis goes first. Oh, very nice there. On point on the transfer. Up to Hut. Another head rolling on the ground thanks to Magis as more players come into that upper bomb site. But it looks like the reinforcements is going to stop that push for Astralis, and they're going to have to reconsider things. But in a 4 versus 2, they are happy to now just change the pace.
Again, you see all the rounds prior where Astralis put grenades to that position to try and deter someone from going there. Na'Vi picked the right timing, but still get shots in the face. And getting shot in the face is a problem in Counter-Strike. And now we have Astralis in a 4 versus 2 with yet another bomb plant. We see nothing but success, and Glaive is leading by example, 13 for 7 at the moment, top fragging on the server. And of course, he is the in-game leader.
And indeed, when we saw this veto, we knew that this map will be the greatest challenge for Na'Vi, most certainly. As Astralis are just so impeccably good on this map, it's quite scary, isn't it, James? It's just. Will there ever be someone
get your marshmallows out
that can stop them on this map? It's just so beautiful to watch them play. It's, just as Sponge was saying on the desk, Astralis, they don't play boring Counter-Strike. They have so many details, so much nuance to it. And again, as you mentioned, Magic's just, even though they didn't expect it, you also have the individual skill to just back it up if a surprise is coming your way. That is difficult to deal with. And once again, the full buy comes out from Na'Vi, but this time they have a twist.
2 sniper rifles for Na'Vi. Flamey has picked up the second one. Very capable with the gun as well. But are Na'Vi capable at this point of even taking a buy round away from Astralis or Nuke? The answer's been no so far. Will it be this that makes a difference? It is, again, just abusing the man advantage. Even if he shoots one of them, which he won't, there are so many more to trade the frag. Taken out immediately. How many does he see on the death cam? What is the response? Electronic caught out of position. And again, it's a landslide so far for Astralis. Edward desperately trying to shoot through a smoke, nothing doing. Is it safe territory again?
Yeah, oh my goodness. That 1-2 punch there from Astralis. As you say, so out of position, just caught so off guard by the pace. What a beautiful selection of round once again from Astralis. They are just making all the right calls right now. And would you expect anything less, especially on Nuke from them? And it's hard to watch when you want to see that double AWP setup be the difference for Na'Vi, but they're going to have to rethink that. Perhaps.
Are we looking at 12-3 in this half?
It's
time to ask the question.
Yeah, it's going that way for sure. Just a few more rounds and Astralis will be there. Na'Vi, will they throw in some aggression? That's another hard adjustment to make against Astralis, because they're always looking for that aggressive move. They're always looking for that way that you're thinking, maybe you can surprise them. And they always just seem ready for it.
So much harassment at the end of the rounds. So much harassment. Na'Vi going to have to change their phone numbers. 9-3. And what is there to say at this point? Magisk is he's just shy of $15,000. So I do think he's probably at the point where he's losing money by winning all the rounds, because it's not expensive enough for the T side. A landslide for Astralis, 9 from 9 since the first fire round between the two teams. Let's see how it continues. We've had slow rounds, we've got fast rounds. Again, we've got the door being blown off, and that really makes you even more nervous towards that A site.
Oh, nice there from Edward.
Oh, hello.
That is so cool to see. Some detail there from Na'Vi.
There's one for YouTube.
Does do some damage to Dupree as well, and he has frequently been found up there on that silo position. Electronic will be completely safe from that flash, as Simple is looking for where the blind spot is, which is secret. They don't know Na'Vi if any Astralis players have made it down there just yet. Astralis have been very good at sort of making it really hard to guess what they're actually doing. They have presence all over the map, sort of suggesting that maybe they're here, maybe they're there. It's a constant guessing game for Na'Vi.
I want to see the T's go down secret now, because Simple is waiting with an AWP. That's going to be juicy, very juicy indeed. I want to see that kind of exchange. But Astralis are harassing multiple parts of the map at the same time. They've crept into the ramp position as well, as you can see. Instantly, you can't look for information. It's like they're forcing Na'Vi to guess the entire round. If you peek, these AKs are too strong. You're going to get shot in the face.
Oh, speaking of which, Simple strikes from the grass. The snake unseen with the AWP. Can't just in time. It's Dupree who makes the kill, and now Astralis once again punch a hole through the defense. Edward with the spray, but he is going to be taken away, and that looks like it could be it, because Electronic, he's 1v3. How can he do this? Oh my goodness, Electronic! One more to go though, bomb planted. He will quickly apply the pressure, tapping on that one as he moves forward through the door, trying to guess. But it's going to be made very difficult. He's up against Device, and he's going for the hold. My God, Electronic! That's the play Navi needs to get back in. That's the kind of brilliance you want to see from them.
Finally, a round has been won by Navi, but look at what it took. An individual play from Electronic, a well-placed Molotov, and Device, it was his turn to guess. Finally, they get something out of this. Great transfer there from Electronic. Round number 4 on the board. Is that enough? After all of one round of success for Navi, Astralis have taken a timeout. They will not allow them to have any kind of momentum. They'll have to sit and wait for a fair few seconds now. Of course, Astralis not shy on money at all. Navi will have a reasonable amount for this buy. There is the overlay. Device in simple sniping. And Electronic with an AK. I mean, the AKs have been a problem. They have been a problem in this half so far. Astralis, can they get to double figures now? The 12-3 is off at the very least. So we have about 880,000 people watching. We want to get to 1 million. Get your grandmas to get their iPads out and tune in to Faceit.
Well, it's back in this one now. Navi with a quick pause. Electronic perhaps with that clutch, he can bring them back into this one. Lift the spirits. And he waits outside. Oh, there's one. And maybe a second falling into the spray, but he can't make it work for the second. But just enough distraction for Edward to have a go of it. But how has Magis done it once again? Ready for anything. Simple now with the AWP looking into the yard, trying to spot out Magis. He's been such a problem, and they can't find him.
2-1-2, plenty of time for Astralis. Moving towards the B bomb site. What's the rotation like for the CTs? Flamey is on A for the time being. It's simple. He's in the lobby area, so they are out of position at the moment. Charging into the vent position, which means Astralis will hear where they are. They know roughly where Navi are coming from, so they're going to have really good post-plant positions. Device and Dupree. Simple's reload will concede his position yet further. Now, where are the Ts? It's a guessing game. They've got a Molotov and a smoke, Navi. May not help them too much. And we've got one T going towards control. It's a great headshot from Device, and that leaves Flamey alone. Smoke on the bomb, a flashbang, a desperation. He doesn't even have a kit. Nothing doing for Navi in that round. 10 rounds for Astralis. Some people pay for this level of domination, Dan.
That headshot from Device was absolutely disgusting. Oh man, and Magisk getting the second kill onto Edward, that was the problem. Again, just, oh yes. You love to see that. Maybe not if you're Navi, but if you are an Astralis fan, certainly.
Navi fighting with pots and pans in the last round of the first half. Electronic with an M4, everybody else with pistols. 5-7, still good for a one-shot to close range. And there he is, Youth back on the roof once again. Was avoiding the area for a while. And now he's got, it's not really working for him, is it? Device popping some windows, maybe trying to obscure some sound, or suggest that players could quietly get to hell underneath the ladder position. So it's anti-eco territory for Astralis at this point. 4 more to find.
And you do indeed have to take it carefully. The Eagles, once again, you really can't understate how dangerous they can be if care is not taken. And Dupree is moving into a very strong position. If he can get hold of it, the Rafters then opens up the entire upper bomb site for his team. And here he comes, unbeknownst to Navi. And there it is, cleans up that upper bomb site. Simple comes into play with it. Eagle can't get the connections he wants. Denied by Zivix, but meanwhile, Electronic's back at it again. A third from him, a 1v2 for the ace. Can you believe it? But finally, Magis comes in again, sweeping him down. And that will be the half. 11 for Astralis, 4 for Navi.
That is a huge statement on behalf for Astralis in the first map of this series. It's a grand final of a major, and you still wonder if Astralis are smurfing.
That's a very good way to put it, James. I mean, again, we do have to temper this result. Just knowing how good Astralis are on this map, we knew that this should be the most difficult test in this best-of-3 grand finals for Na'Vi. So we do hope they can get the recovery in moving into the second half, but they absolutely need this pistol. If they do not start with a good economy, you really dread what lies in the near future for them.
Right then, is 4 rounds enough for Na'Vi to fight back on their T side? They will be the aggressors now. 2 players with grenades here, Electronic and Zeus. All Kevlar for Astralis, trying to absorb these bullets. Will it be a fast play into A perhaps from the T's? They're getting into lobby at the very least. And it seems like grenades are being lined up on the roof. We have the door blown off early on, and Glaive will take it in the face from Simple.
Very good start there for Na'Vi, and straight down the vent indeed. Looking to outmaneuver Astralis. It would be a good change for them, and they're all going to dart down there. Astralis can't know how many players, but Zipex is about to spot it out, as he'll now know they're planting on that lower bomb site, calling for reinforcements. Can't connect those long-range shots. Still a man advantage here for Na'Vi. His device goes in. Oh, it's so scary though.
Are they lining up for a double peak here? The T's, well, it might be a quadruple peak. They're all here. The trades are massive for Na'Vi, and they look really damn good to win this pistol. Again, there is no diffuse kit in this round. Zipex needs to get a lot done, and the T's are all over the place. How does he even find all of them? There's a crossfire on the side, and Edward will be enough. There is the pistol round. That's exactly what Na'Vi needed.
And just a quick moment, bit of relief there for Na'Vi. Quick moment to breathe. Great start from them indeed. Simple kicking things off, and that defense was beautiful there, and putting all the bodies in the right places and all the bullets as well. Good hold, and now Na'Vi, they've got to do... I mean, it used to be taken for granted, James, winning rounds against Force Spies, but when it's the likes of Astralis, a Force Spy is still very hard to win.
I think on some maps, Astralis are the toughest team to win this kind of round against. Inferno, namely, one of them. Considering Astralis' T side, I can't imagine they've overlooked this as a CT on round 2 after losing the pistol. Those CZs are very dangerous. There are plenty of close quarters positions. You can even have one person on a close corner and somebody just moving up some stairs very quickly, just like that. Speak of the devil, they've got it right here. Dupree cleaning up. He is bleaching the floor. 3 Na'Vi players left, and what do you do now? There's 1 gun on the floor. 2 guns on the floor, in fact, but they continue to get some frags. Zipex now has hit them with a CZ, although they may try to drain his bullets, but again, his baiting Glaive comes out from nowhere, and there are 2 Na'Vi players left. There's the bomb lost as well. Still, no weapons picked up yet for Astralis, but Flamey has a lot to do, and he won't do. Astralis are devastating, doesn't matter what they have.
You gotta give it to them. Those bait setups were incredible. How can something so simple be so effective when you have that perfect timing? You know, it's all the Astralis players, they are just have this crazy link. The chemistry on that team is definitely really helping in rounds such as this. Just perfect timings on the peaks will take distraction on this angle. A teammate peaks from another, and with those CZs, as you mentioned, James, it is just so strong and beautiful to finish it off with the Scout and Na'Vi. They are going to have to force buy their way back into this one. We've got Deagles out.
Good luck with that. Astralis will turn your dreams into nightmares. Bunch of Deagles and a CZ for Na'Vi. At this point, they've got 2 smokes and a HE. They don't even have a flashbang. This is a pure aim round. It's a grenade, and Zeus will take a small chunk of damage. Glaive moving up the stairs now of the secret position, but Flamey is waiting for him. When does he choose to peek? Will there be a flashbang from his teammates? We've got people advancing their position. Device has to fall back. Simple going through. He'll get shot in the face though. But do the T's have the numbers advantage, and finally they'll get some kills. 4 on 2 for Na'Vi. Can they force right back?
Turning the tables. Na'Vi, can they close it though? Dupree out in the open with the Galil. It will not work out for him. Zeus will take him out, and now with Magisk as the last man standing with the UMP, it will be tough. The element surprise is key, and well, that's been given away. Picks up the Galil though, and he will rotate, or at least suggest a rotation, but caught up the ladder. That's the close that Na'Vi wanted. 4 players survived. That's a lot of weapons collected, and Astralis' economy turned to dust.
Surely they fix it this time. Na'Vi with half the score of their opponent, but a world of opportunity, and a tactical timeout has been called by Astralis. Will they go for the CZ play again? Will they go for setups, bait setups number 2? I'm sure they have an album of just photos with smiley faces on where they troll their opponents with CZs, and indeed the CZs will be out once more. So this is another very dangerous round for Astralis, for Na'Vi, sorry.
And it's a mind game situation as well between the two in-game leaders. Now, we've already shown, Astralis, we've already shown the round that we play, or we were very successful with that bait setup in the lower stack. And of course, to some extent, that was a reaction from Astralis. They knew the rotation of Na'Vi down into that lower position. And have they scared Na'Vi from going there now? Now, do Astralis stack the upper bomb site, expecting Na'Vi to do something different? Well, looks like Na'Vi might be doing something different here. We'll see the initial HE grenades as they take control of lobby and radio and Squeaky, looking for pushes from Astralis, and indeed Astralis have an upper setup here. Zipex taking quite some damage, but still ever dangerous. He's not dead yet, and so he will be in a problem no matter what his health is.
All right then, do Astralis start to fish for information? Okay, it looks like we have the wall of smokes outside, so even on a round such as this, Na'Vi have been forced to give the maximum respect to their opponent. Oh, look at that counter smoke from Glaive. That is going to ruin the timing of Na'Vi. He was standing in main that entire time, Glaive, with his CZ out. And he has been waiting for this wall of smoke so he can stop them from advancing towards Secret. Now, with the time it takes that smoke to disappear, there could be 2, 3, 5 Astralis players on those Secret stairs. Do Na'Vi abandon what they planned to do previously, or do they continue? Now it's the guessing game. Now they have to wonder, where are these CTs positioned? So many close corners on Nuke, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose some people in a round such as this.
Yeah, that smoke is absolute genius indeed. And there's 30 seconds for Na'Vi to move now. They are really being played like a fiddle with that one smoke that Glaive put down. The impact could be enormous because Na'Vi won't have time to check for everything. It's going to be chaos moving into this lower site. There is less than 20 seconds going into the plant on the lower bomb site. Electronic gets a quick double, but Zipex is positioned to try to stop the plant. That's all he has to do. Stop the plant. Edward takes him down. 8 seconds to plant the bomb. Can they stop it? 5 seconds. Is that bomb going to go down in time? Oh, I don't know if there's time here to plant the bomb. Oh, no!
Oh, my God. I could barely watch. I could barely watch.
That smoke.
That is terrifying. That's, yeah, that smoke, exactly. That
smoke. Smoke ever.
What now? That is the what now smoke. And the answer is, I don't know what now.
And for those of you thinking,
how do you lose an anti-force by timeout?
Well, that's the thing. Like, to those people wondering, why is it why didn't you just go through that smoke? Well, Na'Vi didn't have any map control, and the CT rotations are so quick on this map that it's a complete guessing game, as you mentioned, James. For the Ts, there could be loads of CTs behind that in all of these setups. You want to make it a sure thing, and you have to make that hard decision. Do we just go on a gamble and maybe get absolutely taken down by these CZs, or do we try to play a safer route when that smoke goes away and then just have no time? It's actually chaos either way.
Yeah, that is terrifying. They're just outmaneuvering the entire time. I'm just glad there were no Astralis plays in the show match. I don't know about you. But this is pretty damn scary. That said, Na'Vi have AK-47s out, and 7 rounds is still doable.
Yes.
7 rounds is still doable, but their margin for error is continuing to get smaller and smaller here on the first map of Nuke, which was the pick of Astralis.
Yes, and you love to see it. Dupree out with the auto shotgun. Often see the shotguns in play on the upper bomb site of Nuke. It's always a favorite, and we can see Device having fun with a very good angle there, just playing it very safe with the AWP, waiting for Na'Vi to emerge. Na'Vi are playing a slow round here, just trying to cross their T's, dot their I's, make sure that they are getting map control safely.
I feel like an auto shotgun should always have a first sticker on, because he revolutionized the use of that weapon in ways that other people simply cannot emulate. Now, I don't know if that was the plan for that smoke. I don't know if it was supposed to go, if it's supposed to be there so it goes through the wall, or if what that was, but
it either looked like a complete mistake or a setup indeed.
Or maybe he just clicked mouse 1 by accident. Anyway, we've got just shy of a minute for Na'Vi to walk into the Gatling gun. That is Zipex, and again it's a bait setup, but Device does not hit the mark this time.
And we can't stick around for too long. You can see Simple almost had the Vice in his clutches. Zipex though with another off angle, indeed just falling back, spotted, forced out into position. Trade is had. 35 seconds to plant the bomb, and the auto shotgun now comes into play as Na'Vi desperately and quickly try to get themselves on that bomb, but dupreeh opens the door. That's all he has to do, and now there's a huge threat and presence in the control room side of the lower bomb site. Zeus goes looking for it, but how much time is dupreeh killing here?
Opening the door just to try and delay the plant, but there is cover. dupreeh got to go around the corner now, jumping because he knows he's close to the shotgun. He has advantages. There we go, black. 2 more T's to find. Man advantage for Astralis. They don't have a kit on the players who are alive at the moment. Perhaps there is one on the floor. An AK's been collected by dupreeh. A Molotov. Simple may have to do a lot here. Na'Vi have almost abandoned the site. Edward looking towards control. The other side, you can do a lot more from that. The side which is currently on fire. That bomb is so far ticked in a moment. They're going for a 10-second defuse now. Oh, and there it is. The cover is enough. Simple was compromised. And Astralis lose, they're going to steal, another round. 14-6. This is all Astralis on Nuke.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking, that round from Na'Vi. They definitely had a solid shot to make that one work. But again, you have to credit dupreeh just with that auto shotgun. He could have just had a knife, and again had huge impact with just knowing how to play his presence and how much of a threat that actually was. And obviously does upgrade to that AK in the end. And dupreeh has been, everyone on Astralis has just powered up, it seems, as time has gone on since Magic's joined the team. And 14-6 now. There is almost no room at all for Na'Vi to make a mistake as they try to make this work with the AKs. Limited utility, and looks like Astralis are ready.
Smack shot by dupreeh. Day to go through that. Glaive outside, still leading by example. 70 kills now, along with dupreeh. Plenty of players seen around the hut. And again, just so dominant from Astralis. Look at the desperation there. Zeus just bouncing through, but this is not Super Mario Brothers. And Simple will be left on his own, 1 versus 4. Does he think about the championship slipping away from him? Again, this is the pick of Astralis, so they may expect to win this in 3. So this may not be mentally too defeating for them if this is to continue like this until Astralis win the map.
Definitely, I think, Overpass is such a home territory for them. They're so very strong there, Na'Vi, that they can get a very strong reset into that one. But this is the hardest way for sure for them to start against Astralis on the nuke, and there it is. Map points for Astralis, 15 for them, 6 for Na'Vi. And Na'Vi's money absolutely sucks.
Well. Not how you want to start a major final, that's for sure. Even if you know your opponent has a big advantage. The first map of a best-of-3 series, and Astralis are firmly at map points, and they've got plenty of them. Na'Vi less than half the score of their opponent. Deploying some grenades outside on the T side. Zipex around the ramp, Glaive on the outside or secret. And there is the wall. No counter smoke this time from Astralis. But what else do they have up their sleeve? Astralis is like the worst magician. Every time they do a trick, somebody dies.
Well, Device is positioned himself with that orb towards that secret position. And Electronic is closest to it. Are there any setups here for Na'Vi to try with their limited utility? They have some flashbangs to maybe get a frag here for Electronic. Looks like Device is in a very safe position that he can just back away safely if he gets flashed. So we'll have to see if this one works out. Will there be a flash on his angle? Device now edging forwards. Electronic, he has been stellar so far for Na'Vi. Can he make it work? Oh, it's a miss from Device, but Electronic is still alive. There goes the grenade to delay them. But Astralis, they know exactly where the T's are at the moment.
Still so scary to try and punish Device, because how many times have you seen one CT holding an angle, takes a shot, kills or otherwise, falls back, and you chase after him, you run straight into another one and gets a free kill. You just don't know. And here he is again. Grenades to follow up as well. 2 players left now between Astralis and the first map, and there goes Simple as well. 3 kills for Device, and Edward can't do anything about it either. That is Nuke firmly, very firmly taken by Astralis. 1-0 now in this series.
What a performance. to answer for.
A lot indeed, and we'll find out if they can do it after the break.
Henry, what's going on, bro? Yeah, I'm just in my star dressing room. It has one of those mirrors with the lights and stuff. It's just
Sorry,
amazing.
I'm going to need this dressing room.
Huh? Tim?
No, I need the room now.
Have you got an upgrade? Is it like a business upgrade?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
All right. I already thought this was top of the line. I guess not. Which way?
This way, right.
All right, sick.
That's right. New planet.
Bardolph.
Piala, how you doing?
Good to see you. Or not. Where have you been? I've been looking for you.
How are you?
Yeah, not great, because I've been looking for you for about 2-3 months.
Oh, you know, been busy.
Remember at ECS, last ECS here?
I'm all over the place, Parla.
Signed the contract, me and you.
I've got a better contract for you.
And then at the minors, I got stuck in a never-ending loop of reproducing my own body. It's
Parla,
painful.
I've got really good news for you, actually. I have found
Me and you?
I found you the perfect partner. It's not
James.
me, but it's a lovely girl, and I think that you're going to play off each other very well. I think it's going to complement your personalities. I think this is a perfect match. You and this girl, you're going to make it together. You're going to be one symbiotic organism.
Okay.
It's going to be fantastic.
It sounds complex. It's a complexity.
It's going to be really good.
What's up with the asthma pump? Am I leaving you breathless?
It's the cold air, you know.
Okay, well, I'll trust you for now, and then hopefully we can link up on this soon.
I'll be in touch very soon.
So are you going this way?
The waist, okay. Yeah, I'm going that way. Okay.
Okay.
Very, very close, thank you.
Yes.
See you soon.
It's about time, really. Oh, really excited to meet you. Parla, by the way. Can we get a headset for the chicken, guys? Yeah. I've not casted with the chicken before, or really done much casting in general, so this should be good, should be fun. Henry usually has the laptop open, right? It makes you look more important, or like studious, maybe. Yeah. Do you want to take some notes? Can you type with 3 fingers? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to this. Gets me close to James. Why me? Why not Alex, Chad, or even Henry?
Because you're a reporter, Parla. They would sell you out quicker than the SSE at the major.
It was the chicken, wasn't it, Parla? It was 2X who put the almond milk in our afternoon tea. Wasn't it, Parla?
Yes, Dan, God, yes. I'm not safe here. Please just let me go. I'm not a rat.
You should go far away from here, Parla. When 2X finds out, you'll be lucky if almond milk is the only thing that she's put in your tea.
Smoothie. Fucking casters.
That actually tastes quite nice.
It is nice, but still very upsetting. Convince me. Tell me everything. I've got really good news for you, actually. You and this girl, you're going to make it together.
I overheard them in the green room. She said she wanted to make the tea really cold, 0 degrees, or even She just made it look so simple. I tried talking her out of it. She just threw the liquid in my face. My guardian angel was gone. She is a snake. We had all fallen for her tricks, and she had everyone on a leash. I tried to take a picture when she couldn't see me, but the lens on my Android was all scratched. I don't like electronic devices. We were having tacos when she gave me this weird look, like a dead fox with real fur and all. She said I knew nothing, and that I was dead to her.
It's no big deal.
I knew it was major. She took premium milk, put it in her little bag, and then she poured the almond milk in the tea, like acid rain falling from a cloudy sky.
Convince me. Convince me. Convince me.
And Shazam, she was gone.
Shit, it was Paula. Son of a bitch.
Thank you very much, Alex. Astralis will start on the CT side of Overpass. Na'Vi will be the aggressors. Can they take it to map number 3? We will very soon find out. Edward and Zeus picking up grenades for the T side. All Kevlar for Astralis. A confident start for the CT stat.
Yes, absolutely. They want to fight. It's not going to go down to a bomb plant. That's what a buy like this can often suggest. And they'll go forward into the connector position where you can often get a fast peek. And Flamey's waiting for it. No connections there, but oh my goodness, there's some support from Glaive. You can see Astralis playing 2-man teams there between Short B and Connector. And they come out with a 5v4 and they go all the way passive. They're happy with that.
Yeah, and on Overpass, CTs will often start in aggressive positions and fall back, and it takes a while to clear out all these areas. And again, it looks like Dupree might be playing a bait with Device. Well, he can choose to peek as well. He'll do that. Short exchange, but nothing doing just yet. Na'Vi still a man down. Simple and Flamey have P250, so they can go for the long-range engagements as well. If you've got a Glock, you've got about half the distance for a one-shot to the head and a pistol round. So you'll be looking for closer quarter engagements.
Just as you mentioned, a lot of timing burned. If a Dupree goes for a information play, he's going to find one Na'Vi player, but how much does that tell him? It's not the whole picture just yet for Astralis, but they don't need it. They have the man advantage and make that 2. Dupree very quick there onto Edward as it becomes a 5v3, and perhaps Na'Vi, their hand will be forced here. They have to make something happen. Simple with that P250. It's a very good gun, but he gets double peaked, and it's Astralis absolutely ruining Na'Vi here. Headshots abound, and just Zeus is left. Oh dear. Zeus gets one. P250 in action, but shut down 1-0 for Astralis.
Hopefully that round is not telling of how this map will go, because there was almost nothing in there for Na'Vi at all. They got beaten out like a whisked egg on the previous map, and maybe the same will happen here. It's down to them to try and change their future. But that's a very confident start on the CT side for Astralis. 1 kill. And again, if you lose a pistol, you at least want to do some damage. You need to get some frags in these next 2 rounds, assuming you lose both of them. We explained that story when Astralis were on the T side of the previous map, and now we look to Na'Vi to do the same.
And there it is, as you mentioned before, we see that very fast aggression. Make that double, actually. Glaive pushing in very quickly here to Sewers as well, having a very fast and forward position. And this is brilliant, because if there is to be a fast B play, which can often happen in Na'Vi's position, Astralis immediately can sort of mess up that push and stagger the offense. But after that initial rush timing that they're trying to counter, they'll fall back out into safe positions on the bomb site. They know it won't be a rush now, and they've got some early information.
1 minute 10, and Dupree admires the skin of his MP7. Not shy to be up top, expose that long position. And Na'Vi know that there's probably cover from further back, and indeed, Device is there if needed. Dupree can use that smoke to suggest he might be lurking back. As you could see, there was a jump peak there. Again, going back to early Overpass, near the party area, there was a place where Edward would always have a jump peak. Never punished, doesn't do it anymore though. But it's always good to have somebody looking for habits, as Zonic might do for Astralis. Dupree now holding onto this long position. And again, this is round 2. We've only seen 1 frag for Na'Vi. They need to get more out of this round.
Yeah, it would definitely be nice. Start to whittle away the economy of Astralis as it grows. And Simple, of course, always dangerous, but there goes the bomb at the feet of Dupree as Simple's been spotted now and still looking for that kill. And look how hard it is, how difficult Astralis are making it for Simple to have any peaks that are favorable. Quick flick comes in for the frag, but is that good enough? I guess we'll find out soon, as AKs will be coming out from Na'Vi in the next round.
1 frag per round isn't quite hitting the mark, it has to be said. And we're going to have the surprise buy from Na'Vi. This is not what you normally have in round number 3 after losing the pistol. Now, if they fail to get something done here, they're going to be on the back foot. But have a look at this. Electronics being given the AK, Flamey with a Galil. 2 Deagles and a P250 on Zeus. They've got some grenades. There's an early one, and maybe that's an early warning. Why is there a flashbang in round number 3, Device may ask?
Absolutely, but Dupree, he's not having too much of an issue. Does take a lot of damage, but gets the frag, and that's what's important. Falls back. Oh, the flash timing there. Magis finishes it off. Electronics down, and that's what the AK out of play, and that tells Astralis everything they need to know. They're so proactive here.
The first two frags they got were the Galil and the AK with SMGs. They're having a whale of a time, Astralis. Finally, though, a pistol will do something. Zipek's taken out for the second time. But again, he was in a very aggressive position. Don't expect to see an Astralis player there. Magis walking out the tunnel earlier on. And now they're starting to fight back, Na'Vi. Do Astralis have an idea as to where the bomb might be? That's a question.
And that's a very interesting model. That's really going to suggest that there may be a push on Monster. You can see Magis has a very good position to just delay if there is a push, but he doesn't have a position to get information to confirm if they are pushing Monster. So right now, Astralis don't have any idea as to what's going on. And Na'Vi have made a real round of this, and they've all got rifles now, which is a very welcome change for them as they start to encroach closer onto that A-bomb site. And it needs to go their way here. Dupree with 11 HP, the man to stop it perhaps.
They're running out of time. Also, this toilet sign, look for that to be covered in spray later on to make it harder for Tees to line up their grenades. But 19 seconds, the time is running low for Na'Vi. Indeed, they have position, or they had position, but Magis keeps getting fragged. He keeps out-dueling with that lowly SMG. And he won't go down. He refuses to go down. 9 seconds now. Simple has given himself a chance, but he's planting on the wrong side, surely. Indeed, he is. Unbeknownst to him, Glaive outside the box to get the 3-0 for Astralis.
And it's so heartbreaking, isn't it? He just can't know. It's a gamble at that point. You don't know whether the CT will be rotating from B or, well, from which side from B. And unfortunately for Na'Vi, they won't make it work. And surprise buy has not left them in the worst of territory. You know, they did a lot of damage in that round. Only one player surviving for Astralis, which hurts their economy a lot. And this round, Na'Vi could, you know, get some pistols out, and they will. They've got a Deagle P250. Or actually 3 P250s and 2 Deagles, so there is some damage potential here, and that's what they'll be looking for.
I see a variation of the bottle smoke on the T side of the monster tunnel, which makes it hard to rush in. If the smoke was on the other end, then the T's would have a chance to burst through it with flashbangs over the roof, but that far back gives the CTs a little more advantage. One flashbang and one smoke for Na'Vi. Bomb picked up by Zeus, and they're trying to force Device back, but we'll have to wait and see if he agrees. Dupree not aggressive up long this time. Astralis changing their formation. That previous round was good for Na'Vi in terms of frags, but of course, losing it was a gamble, put them back on eco, so Astralis can start to catch up once again.
And you never know with a buy like this. Minute left, and this bait setup in the bathrooms could be quite powerful, but again, just takes one of those Deagles to connect, and everything can come toppling down here on the defense for Astralis, and they'll give it the respect. They'll fall back onto that bomb site. 40 seconds now, and Na'Vi's presence truly felt towards this A side of the map. And there's a peek here from Magis. You can see he's looking towards the door there, and that's the mid position. Spots it, it's open, doesn't get the kill, but some damage in. The smoke, oh dear, that smoke's going to delay things. That makes life very hard for Na'Vi.
For those of you wondering why this round is taking so long, I think it's something the analysts have alluded to this week already, is that Na'Vi want Astralis to spend as much money as possible. Every edge has big value. That's why we're running the clock down. And as you can see, Astralis have almost nothing left in terms of grenades to throw, but they've got plenty of guns. So we won't see the bonus money for Na'Vi in having planted the bomb. But at the very least, in a round where a frag was unlikely, they've made Astralis use almost all of their grenades.
Yeah, and that's like $1,200 or so for each player, so it is pretty valuable. And with always having the chance at getting some headshots in there as well. Certainly a well-played round, although they didn't get the kills. And we now move into AK-47s here for Na'Vi, and a full selection of utility to back that up. So it'll be fun to see what they decide to do with their first proper buy round. And there's no AWP out on the map just yet. And overpass that feels very strange, but Astralis keeping their economy in check.
It's really cool to see that somebody made a proper jump throw for that smoke to monster tunnel, because before there were all kinds of stupid lineups which took a lot longer to deploy the smoke grenade. So that really cuts the time down for the CTs, which is fantastic. Glaive is now holding a pop flash for the short B players. So off of your screen while long is being taken, you can see the line there, the pop flash for the two CTs. They're not going to go all the way into short B. But maybe they have the inkling that it is most likely safe, and perhaps that will send more players for the CT side back towards A.
I love how active Astralis have been. They've used a lot of flashbangs to get information, and here comes Dupree. Another information play. He's going to find out a lot. That's a beautiful flash. Dupree absolutely blind and now dead as well. Na'Vi make their presence known as they start to trigger the push onto the A-bomb site, forcing Device back with the utility, smoking off CT to prevent the rotation, but Glaive, he snuck his way forwards. Can he delay the push as he tosses in some grenades? He is isolated. He is so alone right now, trying to play this corner of the truck. Soon's doing more damage as Device gets in there, and there goes Glaive. What else can Device do? Well, not very much. Up to Magisk now.
All the damage he can do. Oh, is it going to be a Kobe? Oh, it's close enough. 8 HP, but can he follow up? No more damaging grenades. No more health for Magisk. Edward seals the first round for Na'Vi. Now, there were problems there for Astralis. When Dupree got taken up towards long, he was flashed, so at best, maybe he sees Edward, but I don't think they knew that 3 players were on long, so Magisk's rotation as the last man on B takes longer. There were some nice positions from Astralis on the site. You could see the trust between the teammates and the angles they were holding. However, Na'Vi would prove victorious. Now, Flamey's having a quick reconnect to the server. But indeed, the score is 4-1 in favour of Astralis, who have money to spend, or had.
And it's really cool to see that Na'Vi decided to go towards that A bomb site. Perhaps knowing that Astralis would choose to play the rifles, not upgrading to an AWP. That's expensive. You already have the rifles. No need to have that extra expense, because if they win the 5 rifle round, Astralis, they'll have more money in the long term. So banking on the Astralis making that play, Na'Vi think, you know what, those AKs, they're going to have massive value towards A. It's going to be easier for us because there's no AWP. And Astralis responded by trying to be very active towards the B side of the map, but still, those AKs very powerful. And James, it's very good to see that Na'Vi are winning some of these trade battles. That's going to feel very good after Nuke, which was quite a struggle.
Can they get some consecutive rounds together? Even that has been the problem, ignoring a pistol round. Device will be pulling out the AWP. Flamey is back on the server. The AKs are coming out for Na'Vi, and the unpause is here. All right, then let's see if Na'Vi can get that consecutive round on the board. So important for them. Hello, London! Oi, oi, Savaloy. I haven't heard a single oi, oi, Savaloy chant. You guys, you're shouting KFC, but you can't do oi, oi, Savaloy. What's going on? There we go. Thank you.
And back into it we go as a quick fast forward nade is thrown by Astralis. Again, as mentioned, keeping that aggression on and making sure that every position is a guess for Na'Vi. They've got to spend all that utility, they've got to check every single corner, and meanwhile they fall all the way back to Astralis onto their bomb sites respectively. And the ops in play now on Device, that can change everything. It's difficult to know where Device is going to be playing as well, because he can play pretty much every position on this map. He's very dynamic.
Yes, he is. He's not in battle sniper mode just yet. It is the 2-man setup towards long with 3 on B. But as time continues to tick, will we see the positions change for the CTs? Dupree hasn't been too shy to just hang out on long. So what does the information in Dupree's position mean for the rest of the team? If his position is compromised, obviously we'll see a big rotation, but will he look for something, or will they just continue to play out this bait setup? Glaive moving up now, so there is a change as time continues. They're putting 2 in this direction. I would have thought he might have covered towards Device's left, but no, they're really invested in long.
Maybe they have a read here as how Na'Vi might play around like this. And we've seen some pop flashes for Edward previously, but he is alone, and there is a huge blind spot. I wonder if Device will check it in time. We'll have to see if Na'Vi will push all the way up. There's smokes on the bomb site now, all over the place here, and they start to know. Edward spots Device. 2 players now turn towards him as Device has to fend off the main push coming in from Toilets. Edward just has to delay. Oh, that's beautiful there. Baiting Glaive into his spray, takes him down as simple now. Forces his way into the site with Device still alive, but no problem for Electronic. Magisk is in town though, but not for very long. Zipex goes down as well. And that was beautiful. They found the one hole in the defense and they exploited it fully.
Na'Vi now showing the power of the AK, excuse me, but congratulations to, or credit to Edward there. His job was purely to show presence on long and keep the players entertained. And I thought maybe Astralis have a hard read that Na'Vi are always going to take long if they're going to push A. They sent a second player there. Edward is just constantly just being a nuisance. Then he pre-fires when the pick finally comes in. In the meantime, Device is in a 1 versus 4 from the toilet's position. Smokes all over the place and they get almost completely wiped, if not wipes. And they put on the pistol, so I guess they were wiped. 2-4 now, still in favour of Astralis, but the current situation is all Na'Vi.
Yeah, I think you made a really good point there, James. Just the mind games between the two teams. Both teams will have studied the hell out of each other to going into this game, and will be trying to bank on some of those tendencies. And if that really was the thinking from Na'Vi, that is the 500 IQ play, and what an important moment for it. Again, as you say, we're on the pistols for Astralis, and Simple will take down Zipex towards the B-bomb site as Na'Vi increase the amounts of map control that they have. Electronic now will have some fun as well. Edward catches the back of Glaive, and this round is over surely very soon.
Statistics. 2 USPs remain. Potato guns in a round such as this. Not much money in the bank here for Astralis. It's just Device now. And there he goes as well. So Astralis had no money to spend in that round. It's a free round for Na'Vi. All the players survive. And an AWP has been deployed to Device. Right then, Na'Vi 1 round away from tying up the score. Again, it was a very dominant game of Nuke, but this is the pick of Na'Vi, and I'm sure they would love to have a strong T side.
Yeah, that already looks so good, or so much better, I should say. And there is the quick Molotov there from Electronic to delay any fast pushes on shorts. Zipex, meanwhile, flashed in, and that smoke is not perfect, but was it by design? I'm not sure. If it was thrown by the CTs, must have been. At least it's a deep one. And there's no T's down there. Teams will often put a lurker on from the T side on that monster tunnel.
Yeah, you never quite know, and Electronic is respecting the edge of the smoke. If you start to creep close to the smoke, you will be more visible to your opponent in many situations, so he really does not want to do that. Astralis now have changed their setup. Very important to change your identity when you're defending here in Counter-Strike. Now they don't have that investment that they had on long in previous rounds. Dupree and Device in the toilet position, so maybe we will see more Battle Orpa style from Device in this position.
And the T's will now move further and further forwards. Bomb still left towards T-spawn, let's not forget as well. Someone will have to rotate to pick that up. I think it will be Simple as he makes his way back through Playgrounds. And we see that Magis might have a spot here. Once again, we also see the bait set up for Astralis in the toilets. Very strong, but Na'Vi, they're starting to rotate back towards the B position. And Astralis don't have any info on this just yet. This might surprise them if Na'Vi go in quickly. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case, because there comes the counter smoke. Will that delay things, or will Na'Vi just go straight through?
You can see Zipex not standing deep in the corner by the barrel, so he's not exposed to short. Now sometimes you might think no one's there and somebody is there. Smokes on the side. Magis holding off angles as well. Glaive in a position. You often see Zipex, and there we go, trying to ring the bell, but the AKs prevail again, at least for the entry. Bomb being planted, but still we've got Zipex by the barrels. He can't quite find the mark, and now we've got Na'Vi moving into post-plant situation, but they're a man down, and that stays that way as the trades come in. That's a nice shot though from Flamey. 2 more to find. Dupree by the sandbags, and Glaive still at the back of the site.
It's very difficult. Nades coming in, trying to hold the line. Flamey, can he do it? One more, but not the final one. Glaive saves it. Has time to collect the AWP and get the defuse in. Doesn't have a kit though, but there is plenty of time. And my goodness, that went down to the last man. So at the very least for Na'Vi, this is an opportunity. They did so much damage.
This is actually a giant problem for Astralis. The fact that only one person survived before they defused that bomb. They have no money in the bag. Na'Vi are falling over stacks of cash at the moment. If Na'Vi win this round, they could take the lead, even though they're 2 rounds down at the moment. And Astralis know this. They'll take a tactical timeout to figure out what to expect of Na'Vi in this round and how to get around it. Big opportunity for Na'Vi.
It's so encouraging to see after that first map. Hope restored for Na'Vi. Astralis must make this one count.
Cheers!
And 10 seconds, and we're back into this one. James, Astralis, we're going to see something new from them. They are very good at the CT side aggression that is so characteristic, so strong on a map like Overpass. Will it be towards the B side or the A side? There's so many different options and ways to do it, and it could be the mix-up that Astralis need in this moment, because they cannot concede this round, otherwise they are broken.
Smoke down outside Monster as per usual. Often you'll find a T side lurking towards B with just the one player, but Na'Vi have 3. Edward is moving over as well as you. So again, to me, this is indicative of the opportunity they know is ahead of them. They want to brute force into the B bomb site, use and abuse that numbers advantage, but Astralis see no presence around the map as well. They've got Dupree and Connector, and they've got 4 people focusing on the B bomb site. Astralis are expectant. This is going to be a war.
Yeah, not too much utility left here for Astralis, but it may not matter because, indeed, Na'Vi looking to perhaps just go in right now. Oh dear, Zipex goes down straight away. Na'Vi look to the flank, but Dupree stands strong and he's going to keep himself alive. And it won't matter if Na'Vi can take the bomb site. Flamey's still fighting for it, looking to see what he can do. The transfer not good enough now. It comes down to Simple. The only player with any health left alive, and that's a great headshot from him. 45 seconds to play with. He has the bomb. This can still go so many ways. He can still go to A.
Oh, Zeus has got a free kill here. He's got a free kill unless the other CT goes back to the balcony, but he's got to be really careful about Glaive's position. He's got to take it close, and he's got to do it before they realize that nobody is on A. If that rotation comes back in, they could lose this opportunity. There's a flashback, and that's quite telling. He's going for the spray, but Glaive's just hiding, looks up, and he's taken out. Device there with the AWP. He has an angle for the site. You can plant it by the pillar, however, so there is a chance for the bomb to go down. You see it get thrown over. He spots it. He knows a player is short. Oh, there it is. The timing brutal for Device, but he can go for the wallbang. Zeus with 10 HP gets B out of the site, and he may have no idea. He may think Zeus is still there. Does he go for this? Look at the lack of money on Astralis. It was a close one, but it looks like Na'Vi have played a master stroke, and you can see Zeus continuing to push. Device has got no idea. Zeus will chase, and Simple will go for the flank, I'm sure. He's got to get there before Device makes his way towards long. Oh, and he's missed it! 10 HP versus an AWP. That's going to be something. Maybe he survives. Oh, there's a nice bait, but does Device go for the cross? He does. He's full health, and I think he's escaped. He must hold on to this AWP.
Oh my god, how is he alive? Device does not know how close he was to dying there. Oh my goodness, that, as you said, that AWP is really crucial. However, Na'Vi might be able to find the exact type of round to negate it and just perhaps bypass it entirely. You'll have to see what their read is on this situation, because now knowing the Device has an AWP, that is a big weapon to play around. Astralis can try to throw in some cheeky aggression with some grenades, and that can cause big problems in a round such as this, which otherwise, had he lost the AWP, might be free. And we'll see that that is the case. Astralis buy up here, sending Device aggressively towards the fountain. And when I say buy up, it just means some pistols and some supporting grenades.
They're spending a lot of money, though, compared to what they had. We saw on Nuke, these were very dangerous rounds, although Overpass not quite Nuke, but there's still loads of close corners where they can spam these CZs, and they can play crossfires quicker than you can communicate the issue. Quicker than you can react, adjust. 2 HEs, Zipex and Glaive, they were holding them for a second, but it seems they've gone back to their guns. Now, keep an eye on those grenades. Look at the timing from Dupree. Absolutely perfect from him. Just as Monster has questions asked through it. And Flamey continues.
Big save coming in there from Flamey, and Na'Vi stand 5 strong as they push in, but Zipex with that CZ of his pushes forwards, but it looks like the coordination coming in is fantastic from Na'Vi so far, and they will survive with most players on the way into the bomb site, but Device is quite the problem, isn't he? Doing some significant damage to the remainder of Na'Vi. Edwin and Electronic very weak, but how do you do this? 1v3 with an AWP. It's not an easy one.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why he's not running away, he's not necessarily going for it. He's hiding in plain sight with the position he has. It's strong for 1 versus 1. If he takes a shot, he can fall back, take another one. He's got full health, so he should survive the bomb explosion. So important again that they hold on to this AWP, but will Na'Vi read that he's here? You can see that Zeus is on the high ground. Doesn't have 10 HP this time, Zeus. But Device, he knows upstairs could be compromised. Looks like he's going to go to Graffiti instead, which means that he should probably hold on to his weapon. I don't think Zeus will get there at the time. And there we go. The score now, 5-5. And Na'Vi still have many advantages. Astralis spent little that they had, so it's another eco round with an AWP for Astralis.
And again, that's so awesome to see from Na'Vi's perspective after having that struggle of a map 1 and just seeing it be the case that it was impossible for them to win these T rounds with their full buys. And this time it's quite a different story as they look confident up against Astralis, not only individually but as a team, and also with the calls from the in-game leader, Mr. Zeus. They have been good so far, and got to be so careful in rounds such as this. We'll see what their approach is. Looking at a default so far, just keeping things pretty steady here. Quick pop flash over sewers for Electronic to get some information. Where is Device? Na'Vi may find out sooner, and not in the way that they want, than later if we see Device go for this peak, but going to fall back onto the B bomb site. Astralis gamble stacking B, and they are right so far at least.
This has been favoured from Na'Vi of late. However, this time they have Edward going for information. He's just moving to the long position at the moment. Are we going to see a 3-man boost from Astralis? Look at where they're going. Information seeking, but Device is not one of these players. There's 2. Up we go, and there's number 3. Hello, Zeus. Does he see the plate to his left? I'm not sure if he did. Na'Vi don't expect this. The problem is, even without a kill, this is a lot of information. Ding dong, and that's Zeus taken out. Still don't think they saw Electronic, however, but he is being checked for. Or is he? No, he's not. In the meantime, Edward's almost on the A site. He can make a play here as Electronic pushes in. Neither player has the bomb. They haven't seen the bomb yet, Astralis. Now they know Edward is on A. Matis still on the B bomb site. Which way do they go? He's got an AK as well. This could be brutal.
Do they have any idea? Still the bomb will be part of their Simple in the smoke. What can he do? Okay, the AK's been spotted now. Matis falls back as his teammates push forwards. Simple caught off guard. That's the AWP down. And this is very problematic now. There is not a kill here for Astralis. So they have to go for the fast pushes. And the 1-for-1 is fantastic for Astralis. They have the AWP to hold on to this. Oh, and there's the peak. It's strong from Device as Astralis take a very unexpected round and they pick up a second AWP for their troubles.
That was not the round they were supposed to win. Astralis were in the bin. They were in the bin. But they managed to climb out and put Na'Vi in that position for a brief time. But again, Na'Vi have so much money. Astralis didn't survive with the numbers. Yes, they've got 2 AWPs, but there's still opportunity for Na'Vi to even aim for a good 9 rounds here in this half. But they cannot afford too many mistakes like that. That was crisp like potato chip from Device. And now we will see if Dupree can do the same.
Yeah, he's been quite amazing with his aggressive plays. Looking forward to seeing how that pans out for him. Device looking for the typical fountain peak here with the AWP, and those flashes will go behind. Ooh, that was a close one. Teasing and fragging Simple. And we'll see Na'Vi quickly take connector. Astralis get the information. We'll get some utility exchanged as Na'Vi still work on early map control. And Device rotating with that AWP, it seems. Reinforcing that B bomb site. Astralis perhaps, I mean, they know it. Na'Vi have had a lot of success hitting this B bomb site. And they reckon it's going to be another B.
Don't think that one was supposed to go there. But I like the idea. Na'Vi starting passive towards A, and Device is starting to creep. Electronic now, the lone lurker around the B area. Now, will Astralis have a false sense of security, perhaps? Electronic looking for a place to jump off the sandbags and one-tap them. That would be a good denial of information. Still 3 players on B. They know Na'Vi like to take it slow in most cases, at least towards the A site. Now Glaive is starting to move up long. How far will he go, though?
A moment of silence here as Na'Vi begin to creep towards A once again. Bond still towards B, and there is 25 seconds left in the round. Astralis starting to get antsy here. Surely Na'Vi must be going somewhere, and they have to commit into a bomb site, and it's got to be B at this point. Bomb on Monster. It will be dropped by Simple as he pushes forwards. The entry fragger there with that AK-47. Device with a lock on with that AWP. Misses the flick, but Simple gets himself a headshot, and that's Na'Vi on the way in. 8 seconds to plant, though. They have to plant the bomb. Can they find their way onto a plant? Flamey is going to be close, but no, and it's denied, and there's no chance here in the 1v3 Electronic as Astralis close it down.
So down to the wire for Na'Vi. They had a 5-on-5 on the B bomb site. Everybody had pretty much rotated there for Astralis. Astralis had got too much information. Not enough cover, no smokes on the site, nowhere really safe to plant a bomb. Zipex with the hero play once again, and that's why you watch him. All those opportunities for Na'Vi that we spoke about, the monetary issues for Astralis starting to slip away as we move into the last 3 rounds of the first half. 7-5 in favor of Astralis. Tactical timeout for Na'Vi at the moment. There's still money to buy, but they can't make it so easy for Astralis in terms of having all of their players on one site.
This is definitely a tough situation for Na'Vi. That momentum switching definitely now very troubling last few rounds, and you know, you start to wonder if that really incredible play with the pistols and all the USPs and the AWP from, you know, with that initial frag from Magisk, because that round from Astralis was played so brilliantly, if that could be the moment that really switched the momentum, because it seems like it could be the case right now in Na'Vi. Back on the AK-47s, that double up is still persisting here for Astralis, of course, and they still have so much left in their playbook, James. This is worrying for Na'Vi. Oh,
close. 3 players starting towards B for Na'Vi. That's very telling, but again, we wonder about the time then. He just manages to avoid the flashback. It's a team flash! I know there was one for him as well. Meeting of the minds from Na'Vi and Astralis. And the CTs get off better for a time, but it is a 4-on-4 now. This will favour Na'Vi, especially with so much time on the clock. It's going to be harder for Astralis to go for that information, but they're not shy of a jump peek. They're just constantly showing presence to CTs towards short B. They're telling Na'Vi, we know where you are, and we are expectant. What are you going to do about that?
And they got some confidence, that's for sure. They can go and take some risks if they want to and try to surprise Na'Vi, because they've been pretty passive, generally speaking, around these positions. Edward is the weakest player. He's asking questions towards that A bomb site, trying to get some information for Na'Vi and burning that time, using that time to try to make the round more secure, as you mentioned, James. And that bomb is still more moving towards that B bomb site as Device gets the pick towards A. And now Edward, my goodness, this could be a huge play. Will his timing be good though? Oh, catches a rotation. Oh, it takes a flash in the face. But now his teammates can go into that B bomb site, and it's clear, James. They have no idea, Astralis.
Yeah, Glaive is in short B though. He could be there sooner rather than later. That's a massive frag for Edward. He's only got 14 HP. Now what can Glaive do? Device is miles away from the site, having to rotate away from A, down the long position. And Glaive is very close to the smoke. Can he really afford to wait for Device? Glaive is the man with a kit in this situation. Wondering what else could be going on, but it seems that Astralis are thinking better of it, and they will hold on to these 2 weapons. Device with 46.50 in the bank, they could buy around what they have, so they have chosen the conservative route, and we are looking at round number 6 for Na'Vi.
Wow, what an amazing round. If you consider that, as you mentioned, 14 HP on Edward, he somehow finds that blind spot, able to push all the way, finds the key rotation. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. Na'Vi back in it when you thought things were looking very grim. They pick up a very key rounds. And the money for Astralis still looking pretty decent, so they're not in too much trouble as we move in towards the ending rounds of this first half. The flash is connecting for Edward for a little bit more damage, but it didn't seem to matter. And it's good to see Edward making some key plays there. But this could be brutal. If Na'Vi are to lose this one, they are pretty screwed for the following round. But it's good to see the Simples on the AWP here on the T side, James.
Yeah, I think that can be said for both these teams because there's not much cash in the bank. So a 9-6 or an 8-7. Which one are we going to see? Edward in the playground. Too big for the swing, of course. Glaive and connector. Device moving back from the toilet position. Many different angles he can take there. There's a big flashbang from Zeus. But of course there's no reaction from the CTs because they are further back. 2 CTs in the B bomb site, but Dupree will be the rotation man. The balloons point to Na'Vi. Ooh. But nobody quite knows where they are.
And Device, just took a flash there because there was no peek. Device gets to hold the angle still. Astralis surely asking some questions. The rotation comes in. Device suspicious now, and It's one click of the finger, and Na'Vi could be in some trouble because they are burning a lot of time. They don't have much map control. They start to creep up A-Long, and Glaive picks up the kill onto Zeus. Astralis is surely starting to put the pieces of the picture together as to what Na'Vi are doing.
Have a look at Glaive though. He is rotating towards the person who's just picked up the bomb, but he might not be able to catch him in time. Of course, he doesn't know the bomb is there, and indeed, Na'Vi now running down the long position. Edward avoiding flashbang, but there's time for the CCs to rotate now because they've been contained in that position. And Dupree still at the front of the site, which means that Device is baiting. Even if he goes down, there are huge problems for Na'Vi, especially with this time on the clock.
Someone's got to come out clutch. I don't know who it's going to be. And Flamey gets himself a fantastic shot. Not quite the second, but Dupree's even better. Flamey locked down for Glaive to finish off. And Astralis picking up another round. Na'Vi, they had opportunities, but they were suffocated.
That flank from Glaive through connector as well. Didn't catch the bomb early, but finished off the round late for Astralis. So maybe it is going to be a 9-6. No plant means even less money for Na'Vi than they otherwise may have. So we're going to have Astralis with a lead at half-time, already 1-0 up in this best-of-3 series.
Na'Vi, can they get number 7? There's a couple pistols and a couple AKs and a bag full of grenades here to make it happen. It's going to be very difficult. Astralis have been so disciplined so far. Na'Vi starts to push towards the B positions here. We see Electronic being the man to push Suez by himself. And no spot just yet. Magic's got a slightly forward position, very safe. As a teammate for support if required. Na'Vi, they've had much success towards that B-bomb site, at least in opening it up, and it might be what can give them that 7th round, but Astralis definitely feeling it. They've got 3 players on B.
Na'Vi once again focusing on that B-bomb site. The flash behind Zipek so we can peek Monster, although, well, I guess they know that there's no money for an AWP in this round. Otherwise, the player far back would be able to take a shot anyway. Would be blinded for the briefest of seconds. Hear the warning bell, the train is on the way. Jules looks for in that short position. Magic's good for 1, but Flamey will enact revenge. The bomb has not been spotted for Astralis just yet, and Dupree will stay close to Connector on the high ground. But again, there are 3 CTs here on B for Astralis.
Yeah, they have that information, but I mean, you can shoot your way out of the situation, and maybe that's not for Na'Vi, but for Zipex and Dupree. The timely flank comes in, that's massive. That's the bomb on the ground as Dupree stands tall by Connector, and the round goes to Astralis. 9 for them at the end of the first half, and that's 6 for Na'Vi. Na'Vi did a good job, though, in getting 6. They got the pistol, let's not forget.
Indeed. Dupree peeled them like the flayed man on that short B position. And now we've got Astralis moving to the T side. So let's see, can Na'Vi take this to a 3rd map? First, they've got to catch up. They have to win this pistol. Otherwise, we may be looking at a 12-6 scoreline, and that would be disastrous. Some fans may feel like this major's already been won, but there's plenty more to fight for.
Certainly, and you know, as Simple stated previously, at the New Legend stage for Na'Vi, it's when it gets emotional. That's when it gets intense for them. That's when they get big on the stage. Let's hear it for Na'Vi. Let's give them some energy, London.
4 players for Astralis moving towards that B block side. I think there's a boost here for the CT. Oh my days! A double dink straight in the face. He will need reconstructive surgery for that one, and the push continues for Astralis. Rush B, no grenades, no stop, leaving Zeus and Electronic. And now just the latter, wondering what on earth has happened. The players on B have been deleted.
My God, it's going to have to be the hardest way for Na'Vi, the hardest path. The path of most resistance. I suppose that's how it's always going to be against Astralis. They tidy it up at the end. No one died for Astralis. That's pretty clean.
Boy, being in a boost position and getting shot in the face twice from 2 with a Glock. Bursting the watermelon.
It's not fair, James.
Na'Vi will be very thirsty indeed. They've lost the pistol round. Worst case scenario. Defending after losing the first pistol, losing the second one. Already 9-6 down. 12-6 looking very, very likely. Starting to buy round with half the score of your opponent when they're playing for the major. Not getting any better, is it? Taken out of the sky is Edward.
Seems like nothing can quite go Na'Vi's way at the moment. but pistols in hand. They look to stand strong on the B-bomb side as Astralis start to weigh it up, start to coordinate things, but maybe a timely boost here. Oh no, it's missed, and they're trying to step back into the water as Flamey is so incredibly blind, not much he can do. Everyone is falling around Electronic. He gets a quick headshot here, they line up, he gets another dink, damage done by Electronic, picks up a Mag 10, through onto Zipex, surely not. 2 more players to go here for Electronic as he gets a moment to breathe, finds, oh no, he runs out of bullets, can you believe it?
What was that execute from Astralis? There were flames, they turned all the lights on, nobody could see anything, but Electronic still found a way to make it close, but not close enough. Look at the adjustment. Heinous stuff. He did well to take it that far, but no. 11-6, and now they have the USPs. 1 piece 50 on Zeus, a flashbang on Electronic, but we're looking at a 12-6 scoreline, Dan.
We are definitely, again, it's just so difficult for Na'Vi, isn't it?
It's difficult for everybody else who isn't Astralis in Counter-Strike.
That is very true. That is very true. And, you know, it feels like we are still waiting to see Simple truly activated as well. That's something that we're waiting for. You know, perhaps when Na'Vi can get some momentum on their CT side, he can get an AWP in his hands. He can start having some freedom, the run of the map, build up that confidence, start showing us the quality we know that he has. Na'Vi do play proactive with what little they have, taking over the Suez position. But for Astralis, they know how to deal with pretty much any situation in the anti-eco.
The Na'Vi players on a death march from the B-bomb site. And the gods will show them mercy. Mercy of the Faceit AK-47, although Simple may have something to say about that. The free fire was inevitable. Edward will ring the bell, but we're looking at 12-6 Astralis. Ultimately, that is the situation.
Absolutely, but there is perhaps a silver lining to this round. You know, as we see, Edward's managed to find himself an AK-47. They can try to protect that position on the map, and there is little incentive for Astralis to really go and hunt down Na'Vi. So we may get a gentleman's agreement when that AK just survives for Na'Vi, and that's something at the very least, James. Something for Na'Vi to keep hold of.
If they get there. But psychological warfare says hunt, and Magic Spoy is looking for these players. Electronic and Edward running past his position. You can see him directing his sound so he can figure out where they're going. And Glaive is here to welcome them. He can get some bonus money for some kills with this UMP. And of course, they will want to take the AK away. Edward in the playground, and there goes the AK. An upgrade for Glaive, and Zeus doesn't have much to smile about with 18 HP and a P250 and half the score of Astralis.
I guess I was wrong, James. No gentleman's agreement. No gentleman in the grand finals of a major, of course. Take away every edge.
No gentleman here, just mans on road.
All the man in.
5-man on road for Astralis.
Indeed, and they hit 12 on the scoreboard now, and they are 4 rounds, 4 wins away from a very important trophy to perhaps really cement this Astralis era that we're seeing.
And you know how badly Simple wants that trophy. He is not done with this match just yet. Not done at all. 12-6. Astralis moving around. An exchange of grenades. Speaking of which, how deep is the grenade book of Astralis? It's looking like a 3-part trilogy with the largest of novels. Edward and Zeus getting aggressive towards short B now. Looking to take some real estate. It's very important for the CTs if they can take that area. Although they don't want to overextend, so holding the angle will be enough for now.
Astralis once again crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Don't want to fall into any setups that Na'Vi have lying in wait. So they send out the grenades to deal with that, cover space, and also cover their tracks. Make it hard for Na'Vi to know what they are doing. And you can see some questions being asked of Simple in the bathrooms, but you'll find absolutely nothing behind that smoke. That cover of smoke, preventing Simple from seeing anything, is the window that Astralis start to rotate towards B. And again, Na'Vi none the wiser, but they do have 3 there to defend.
Very good timing from Edward, but dying surely wasn't part of the plan, and that may econ Astralis. Simple with a flank now. One player taken out before he can throw the grenades, but does he fight to the death here? Being a nuisance is Simple. They know they can't really press on with his presence there. Manages to get a flashbang. Still two people stuck in a short B position. Look at the time on the clock. 17 seconds, and Wilson will pick the right timing. Matt just moonwalking, and that will be enough. There are still 3 CTs on the site. 10 seconds for this bomb to go down. Astralis is really going to get wiped out. Hold on a second. 1-on-1 with 7 seconds left, and Device somehow takes the round. No bomb plant needed.
Oh my goodness, again, just on a knife's edge, these rounds, and
look at him, he's loving it. Sonic is very happy with this.
Big man in the back there with all the energy. And we're seeing so much energy from Astralis, and you can see Simple pushing out on that smoke, and he kind of has to do it and just trust in his teammates that they can actually win some battles on that B-bomb site. But just one frag shy of making the round theirs, and it's 3 more for Astralis to take the trophy as Na'Vi's economy is ruined and they need to save. They effectively need to let Astralis get to 14, James, before they can even have a fight of this one.
How on earth did they pull a round win out of that bag? That was quite something. Right then. Oh, the situation could hardly be worse for Na'Vi. They're fighting with pots and pans. With Astralis on 13 rounds. Look at this situation. This absolutely sucks for Na'Vi. Man. Astralis running a clinic from team to team to team in this major. Simple towards long. Not with an AWP, but with a scout. 4 players towards Na'Vi. They're asking a lot of him with that weapon. And Astralis, they know the shortcomings in the situation for Na'Vi. They know the problems, and they will start slow. They will make it long and painful.
So much tension. Edward taking a forward position, always good for the CTs. Again, to try to complete more of the puzzle, to try to solve what Astralis are doing. More noise made as we get map control beginning to be fleshed out here for Astralis, but they will likely need to retake this Suez position, and maybe, just maybe, Edward can show something special here. Give some breathing room, but there's a beautiful flashbang. Still gets it done, does Edward? Falls down, more damage done. Is it enough, though, for Electronic to hold on?
43 seconds. The bomb needs to be collected. It looks like Zipex is rotating to grab it, and Device is going to have a look and see what's going on towards A. So I don't think they're quite committed to B just yet, Astralis. Will this be a boost in the smoke? Oh, he's moved at the wrong time, and that has conceded 1 position of 3 players. Now Astralis know 1 person is short B. Maybe they're looking for information. Is there a reaction, though, from Astralis? Well, there's one. Simple taken out towards long A.
He does get a tag onto Device, though, and Electronic gets into a forward position. Finds Device. More players to go, though. The bomb quickly makes its way back towards B. Should have enough time here to get that plant down. 3.5 seconds is all you need. And, well, Zipex will have 3 seconds to spare. It ain't no thang for Astralis as they hold on to the 3 versus 2. And Na'Vi have some big choices to make here. 2 guns to save, or 2 guns to lose. And it looks like they'll make the decision to just hold off here, and there's not really too much they can do. There's no kit anyway, so can they hold on to these guns? It would make so much difference if they could.
What a dire situation for Na'Vi. Performed well moving into this final, but against Astralis, they're making every opponent look like they're playing schoolboy football. And there is another round. 14 for Astralis. They are 2 rounds away from winning this major. A team always has big support in London. We've seen topless family members at previous ECS finals. 2 rounds away. So far ahead of their opponents. But the CTs are back on the bye. We got Mexican waves in London. 2 rounds away. Simple with AWP. Hasn't been much of anything in this series so far. Will it be the difference now for Na'Vi? It has to be now.
It has to be now. You're absolutely correct. He needs to come online. And Dupree moves forward. Oh, they spot him. Simple down to 18 points of health. A superior angle there for Dupree. Electronic snaps, but he will be the one that gets snapped up there as Zeus is blind. So is Dupree, but he still makes it work somehow. Na'Vi in a man advantage. Very chaotic situation for both sides, as Astralis now have over a minute to play a 3 versus 4, but Na'Vi have no utility here.
They've got some flashbangs, however, but we'll see if they... how much they mean. Now Zipex is in the short B position, and he may have heard Edward moving towards Monster, so there may be a warning that someone is probably on Astralis' right-hand side, but what can you do with it? Device lining up, but that's a bomb loss. That means rotation time. Zeus on the flank, Simple making his way in. No one's seen just yet. There's Device, there goes Device, and now it is Zipex versus 3, and he won't last long either. Na'Vi win a much-needed round, but it's only good for half the score of Astralis.
You can see the booth of Na'Vi. They look to be keeping some good spirits here. They look to be calm in this desperate situation. Good round here from Edward to finish things off, and that was just ridiculous. So the way that the flashes were exchanged and the duels at the beginning of that round, that is certainly not a consistent way that Na'Vi can look to win some of these rounds, but they may look to change things here. Picking up the second AWP onto Flamey as Simple goes aggressive. Once again, Simple put into play with this AWP. Can he deliver for Na'Vi? They need it most desperately now, and nice nade line up there from Edward as Na'Vi go aggressive. Oh, a miss there from Simple. He's got to be hitting those, James.
It can be hard to get out of this position. You can see, oh no, Dupree's going towards long instead, but it is very precarious for a sniper to move out of connector and into toilets, or anyone really. But they will escape, and they're having an investment towards long now. Electronic and Simple, and Dupree may be looking for information soon. Is Simple ready for the flick? Because Dupree might be jumping up soon. Oh, the timing won't favour him. Dupree in the toilets now, and Electronic is close long. Magisk and Zipex in connector. Edward on short B. So there is some information seeking here for Na'Vi, but how will it change as this clock continues to tick?
50 seconds, and Astralis begin to set themselves up for a push into this A site where Simple waits. Can he make good of that previous miss? Can he start getting some numbers on the board here as the grenades start to fly in to make his life impossible? Astralis cut off the front of the site, but it won't matter for Simple. Picks one off on the extremity there towards the long position. Going to get some pot shots through the smoke. It's Zeus to be blind and be taken down. Simple has to hold here, but Electronic is reliable. Pushes forwards. They know he's there. In comes the incendiary as Edward starts to make his move. Oh, the double! Surely the double, but no, denied by Glaive. And it's a 2v2 here for Na'Vi, and it gets worse there for Astralis. Flamey with an incredible shot.
Glaive now alone in the 1 versus 2, lining up a flashbang. Maybe can peek just about with it. He's just missing the mark there. There's some fire coming back. Does he think the bombs are being defused? He has no idea. There is the frag as well for Na'Vi. So tough. The flashbangs are so on point every single round. It's so hard to even see anyone to shoot them in this match. But here we are. Na'Vi now with round number 8, and they put Astralis into territory which is almost unfamiliar to them. It's Eco Town maybe for Astralis. Nice shot from Flamey, but I mean, are we seeing nerves from Na'Vi? I think most of the time Edward gets a 2-man spray down there in the toilet position, and then maybe that could have been enough to lose in the round, but here they are.
Absolutely, and we don't see Simple as much, but we're seeing Electronic, we're seeing Flamey coming to life. Edward doing the damage he needs to do, and here comes a quick push. Astralis to change the pace. Are Na'Vi ready? A shot to the chest of Magisk, another one from Flamey. He's going to go down, but he's done a good job. 3 versus 2, the CZs run amok on the bomb site as Zeus looking to close down the position. Zipex with a missed shot, still somehow alive, but oh my goodness, it's looking quite difficult now, but finally Na'Vi keeps it, and they were ready. They were ready for that switch of pace. That could have been their end, but they made it perhaps their beginning.
These sprays are all over the place. I really feel like Na'Vi are feeling the pressure. They are fighting for their lives in this major. Again, Astralis just 2 rounds away from winning the whole thing, and even a round just like this can be enough to really get them even closer to it.
Wow.
But Na'Vi survive for now. They close the deficit to 5 rounds, but Astralis are on the bye once more. Dupree on a Galil to allow him to, well, maybe you had to get some grenades. Didn't have enough for the AK either way, but the rest are well equipped enough. Astralis, so well studied in Counter-Strike in general, as individuals, as teams, on their opponents. 2 rounds away from the major.
And Na'Vi said they like it when it gets emotional. That's when they play their best CS, and it can't be any more emotional than it is now. Maybe, just maybe, Electronic and Flamey and their performances have lifted some pressure, at least off the shoulders of Simple. And we could see Na'Vi come to life. They are in position. They just must win this round to break that money of Astralis. Astralis start to move towards that A-bomb site. And Na'Vi start to feel their presence. Simple at the forefront here. Can he catch someone rotating in? Yes, he can! And there's Simple.
That's an example of why that's such a strong position for a sniper. Can catch somebody coming out of the toilets, around the toilets, or in and out of connector. If you've got a skill, you can deliver. 5 versus 4. Youth will join the players in the B bomb site. They are expectant. All of Astralis outside now. Defias Magisk looking to line up grenades, it seems. Glaive close to short, carrying the bomb. 4 of the 5 players more or less here for Na'Vi, and here comes the Bedlam once again.
Na'Vi know that this is coming. It's just so telegraphed with that push from Electronic. Looks like Glaive will start to shoot his way out. Close range AWP, only good for 1 from Flamey as 15 seconds are left to pop the bomb. Zipex finds an incredible shot there through the smoke. And now things start to get very desperate for Na'Vi. Not like this. Electronic is going to have to fall back. And James, they knew everything. Electronic had that flank on the A-long position. They knew the B push was coming, and they still can't do anything against it.
Electronic, is he going to go for this? He's rotating all the way around. If he rotated towards short, it would be completely telegraphed. But I guess he's not. Look at the money for Na'Vi. This is such a bad situation. Astralis moving to match 2 championship points. And they have 1 rifle maybe going into the next round. Is there anyone that can stop Astralis? I think that's a question you have to start asking yourself.
Can't even save the last gun.
The awareness, do you know why he jumped there? He jumped in case somebody's holding an angle in that completely random spot, so he doesn't get headshot. He bounces off the ceiling immediately, sends the guys tracking up, and takes him out. It's ridiculous.
They take everything away, Astralis. You can't even save 1 rifle to try to have any glimmer of hope in preventing that 16-9. Na'Vi will take a timeout, and this better be one very special timeout. We've seen it before. You know, we have that moment where there was that timeout back when Zeus was on Gambit, and we saw that speech that roused the players and allowed them to bring it back. It needs to be one hell of a speech here for Na'Vi to bring them back into this one here at the Faceit London Major.
15-9. If Na'Vi are going to do it, it's going to be the hard way. 2 MP9s and 3 pistols. The odd grenade here and there. And this is what they have to defend with. This could be the last round of this major. London, make some noise! Astralis with all the tools. Destiny is in their hands now.
And there it is, Magisk with the first spot there. Sees that presence on connector. Na'Vi, very aggressive, hyper-aggressive towards that position with those close combat weapons. These MP9s, as mentioned. And Astralis really playing it safe there. They're expecting the aggression now that they spotted that push there in connector, and they start to play it slow through the playground's position. Astralis are making so sure that they do not get caught off guard here, that they can just close this with the weapon advantage that they have right now in this round.
Na'Vi's control of connector could end up being very important, but they don't have information towards A. They're kind of trapped there. So it can be their friend, but also become their enemy. And Astralis seem very expectant. Oh, they're going to connector from the top and the bottom at the same time. That is a really nice way to approach it. Here's the trade there. Look at the flashbang just in case. Running out of bullets with a pre-fire. Look at how efficient this team are. They will give you no edge to capitalize on. Nothing to exploit. They are merciless.
And Astralis know as well that, okay, maybe they'll have to run the time down a lot, but if they can at least trade out, even if it's a 3 versus 4 in the favor of Na'Vi, at least they create more space on the map, so they have more to work with. And there's 20 seconds here. Maybe they're cutting this too fine. We have some grenades towards that A-bomb site, but here comes the fast rotation. There's going to be very little time when they come into this B-bomb site, but there's nobody there to stop the plant, surely. Edwards might make a quick run at this, but if he dies for nothing, it's a 2 versus 4, and he will die for nothing. Glaive makes sure of that.
Simple and flamey. That's all that's left between Astralis and the Major. Simple on the high ground with the CZ, and surely he's going to get taken out. Oh, there's a gift. He can pick up an AK. This might not be over yet. There's no kit though. They've got to go fast. Simple, the second one. They have to keep going. They've got to charge forward. He misses the jump. Flamey now with the 570. He's baiting. The player on short B is red. Touching the bomb. Are they going to peek? Holding it now. And there is it. It's just out to Flamey. It's not going to happen. They talked about them before, they talk about them now, but I have never seen such a dominant Astralis as we see now. No one close to them at any point in this major. They put in so much work. All of them, all 6 of them in that booth, so much work. And the supporting team as well. What a colossal team this is. And you do wonder what the rest of the year will be like for them. Absolutely monstrous, and it's commiserations for Na'Vi, but here they come. The Danes, your champions. It's time to lift that trophy. Glaive and Decree. Your Faceit London Major champions.
Wow, it's finally happened, James. I think this era might last for a very long time. All right, London, let's hear it for Astralis.
Astralis, they never faltered. They did not relent. They have brought Counter-Strike to levels we've never seen before. Consistency prevails here in London. This is their era. This is the team to beat, to be called the best. Your Faceit London Major champions, it's Astralis! They make it look easy, Chad.
I think that's the best way to put it. Absolute domination here. Definitely the best team in the world, no argument about that. The preparation, the way that this team approached the game is unrivaled. The way that this team approached the game is unrivaled. We have not seen this before in Counter-Strike history.
Indeed, yeah. You can see it across their entire map pool. It's not just the one map. You can see it across their entire map pool. It's not just the one map pool. Regardless of the map, regardless of the situation, regardless of the map, regardless more than what they're required to do, being as part of this team, what they're required to do, being as part of this team. They're all putting in equal work.
Magic's got his first trophy. They said they'd give it to him. He got the lift. That's 2 for the majority of Astralis. Sonic, the coach, of course, makes it 5 for a 2-time major champions.
This time around, they did it in such style, just absolutely dominating all of their opponents. None of the games really looked close. You know, obviously FaZe, it was a little bit more of a test there.
Wow.
They dropped a map to Liquid earlier, they dropped a map to NIP, but I'm pretty sure, you know, not that they allowed that to happen, but they were saving all these pocket maps until the final to show what they really had.
Yeah, how often did we see Overpass in the group stage? They were not pulling that one out at all. Undefeated in the playoffs. Astralis make this major I can't say that word. They make it look easy. There we go. That's what I'm going for. Anyway, it does sound like we've got an interview with your major champions over on the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for your Faceit major champions, Astralis. The crowd absolutely love you. Magus, can you describe what is going through your head right now?
I'm just so fucking happy that I'm just so happy that this team gave me the opportunity to play with such great players, and I'm just a lucky guy playing with these guys. So thank you, everyone.
You played absolutely incredibly. And it's a milestone for you. It's not only your first major title, but it's the first major grand final you've been at. What does that mean to you?
I was actually really, really nervous before this match, even though I didn't want to admit it to the guys. So I was just trying to be on my own, listen to some music and relax, and I'm just happy that we played so good CS anyway.
Glaive, I spoke to Device yesterday after your win against Team Liquid, and he was so confident. He said you are going to be the ones to lift the trophy. As the in-game leader, how did you make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, we just prepared really well, I think. We had a lot of fans in the arena. We could hear them all the time. It was an amazing feeling, guys. We love you all.
They're absolutely incredible. Now you guys are making it on that list of teams that have achieved not one, but 2 major trophies. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. This team is so young and we've came so far already. I mean, this is just the beginning, I hope. I hope we can go much further. I mean, it's just amazing feeling to play with all these guys.
It is absolutely incredible. Now, coming up against Na'Vi, you managed to take it 2-0. It was so clean. What were you focusing on?
I think we just played really good, actually. We were good prepared. We weren't scared at all. We just played our own game. Yeah, so I don't know what we did right, what we did wrong, but we lost some stupid rounds on Nuke, but still we just managed to win, and I'm just happy. I'm just really happy.
Magisk, is there anything you would like to say to this incredible crowd, packed full in the arena, and your fans at home?
Thank you guys for making this an unforgettable moment, and you guys were fucking amazing. I'm sorry for swearing.
It's okay, Magisk. It is great. You've got your flag out. Absolutely love it. Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, give it up for your Faceit Major Champions.
Truly incredible stuff. Absolutely just stunning to see how a team can make the semi-finals, the quarter-finals, and that grand final just look so in control. There was very few moments where we sit there and go, this could go badly. Astralis, you know, people call it boring. It's beautiful. It's beautiful how they've managed to make this game that often is seen as so chaotic, so simple.
Yeah, not taking any risk, playing the percentages, doing all that correctly means every cog in the wheel functions at 110%. Sean already made the point, but to back it up with some stats here, if you look at this final game alone, it was the top 5 players in the server were all from Astralis. Nobody was contesting. You look at the main fields here of stats, the most kills for Zivnix, the most damage for Dupree, the most assists for Magicboy, the most AWP kills for Device, and Glaive was the highest rated player in the entire series. So when you look at that, there's a spread. Everybody got theirs.
He's a fragging in-game leader. He's taken MVPs on his road to this point, but the fact that he can back it up, fragging, leading, all in a grand final, Sean, that's the new era of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's truly something special what Glaive has managed to do to this team since joining. They've opened up so much as far as how the maps they can play, the tactics they bring. They're innovating constantly. Every player is stepping up. They're truly the tier 1 team.
Everyone's AWPing, everyone's doing everything. It's just, they're jack of all trades and they're masters of all of them too.
I think something to note is they didn't have to show a lot yet again. So for the future of this team, with all the strategies that I'm sure that they've developed across their 7 map pool, the only team in the world, I think, to ever achieve it on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
They can not rest on their laurels, but they still have so much left in their back pocket for the rest of the year.
Wait, are you telling me you think Astralis just won the major without showing their full strat book?
Hey, it's a lot of maps there that haven't been played. They did it by 2-0ing everybody. There's a lot left for these guys to show.
They did, yeah. They didn't lose a single map in the bracket stage. Opponents averaged only 10 rounds against them.
That's insane.
So, I mean, they have yet to show how deep their map pool is coming out of a major.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing that trophy live one more time. Just it sounds like they're doing one more over on the stage. They're getting their photo moment. And I mean, you have to give credit to Sonic as well. He's so highly regarded. So highly regarded by his teammates.
He is the heart of the team. You know, you can see the fire behind him, what he gives to this squad, how passionate he is. He's not in the server, but he definitely makes it feel like that. And he's a big part for the preparation. This is what everybody should be looking towards.
Yeah, it's testament. When we say hard work pays off, I rarely have seen a team work so hard for something. They've got the prize pool, they've got the trophy, and they have got this game in the palm of their hand. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is Astralis' game. and you'll have to beat them if you want to get anywhere close to the top spot.
Yeah, you can see the statistics coming up on your screen right here, and as I was mentioning, this is just for the final map, but we do need to know, simple, he didn't show up. You know, we touted the guy as the god of Counter-Strike, the best player in the world. Here he was kept quiet. Astralis did a fantastic job at neutralizing an anomaly in the Counter-Strike scene, and that was the biggest task they had on their hands, and they did it easily.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's going to be heartbreaking for him. I don't even know if I could empathize right now, because he is a win condition for his team.
Yeah,
he knows that.
When every single match it seems like Simple steps in, he dominates. It's going to sting when he doesn't perform in the grand finals of a major. But Astralis definitely took him out of this game with utility usage and just excellent plays all around.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you selected a demo, Chad. What's this one called?
Mate, it didn't even matter what weaponry the team from Astralis had.
Okay.
They're still able to do them dirty, and that's the name of the clip here. Opening up with a 3-man stack, a USP kill with the silencer. I don't even know where that one's going down. Zeus will fall, the Acre gets picked up, and then with very limited weaponry, they're able to turn this round on its head and just steal one away from Na'Vi. That should just be an easy victory. You know, we point out, you know, how well Astralis are on the gun rounds, how well they are in converting in, you know, 5v4 situations. But this time it's an absolute miracle round with Magic's Boy putting in maximum effort and Tobias with some stylish shots to finish it off.
And speaking of Magisk, yeah, he was called Magisk Boy. He's definitely Magisk Man after that one. I mean, this guy has grown so much. An interesting storyline, right? He is kind of, I don't want to say lucked out, but there's a spot opens up in the best team from your region. They look at you, you get that offer, and you suddenly start taking over the world of Counter-Strike. He must feel like he's living in a dream.
Yeah, we almost forgot that he was struggling on Optic not too long ago.
Right.
And who would have thought Carabao leaves Astralis and then gives him this spot, and look what he's done with it.
The thing is, though, someone had to seize it, and he actually seized the moment and made himself, you know, a member of this team who needs to be looked at and regarded, because he was like a star in his previous rosters.
Yeah.
Here, he was more of a role player, and he was the piece of the puzzle that they definitely needed.
Quick bit of housekeeping before we round this one out. Of course, it was the HyperX factor of the match. Actually, I think it's the same clip. We're going to have a look at it again. I don't blame them. It was just seeing the fact that USPs in a grand final can best a fully bought Na'Vi, and you get to see it from that POV as well.
Yeah,
was one AWP, no Kevlar.
It's a pivotal round in this half as well, right? This should be a gimme for Na'Vi. They probably could have ended this half with even 7, maybe even 8 rounds, and this could have gone to a third. But when you're stealing rounds away like that, it's definitely easy to get across the line and win a 16-9 victory.
Absolutely. And actually, you know what? I think it's time to start saying our thank yous. Thank you to you. Thank you to Faceit for bringing us here. And thank you to the crowd. One more time, guys. I just love that I can talk to a UK crowd. You showed up in such a big way. You made this major what it was. So a big thank you to you. Fantastic. It was so much fun to witness Counter-Strike here on London soil. And we brought all of the action. And now, as we say our goodbyes, thank you to everyone, of course, backstage as well. Let's not forget, there's a lot of people pushing those buttons and running around backstage. It's chaos back there. And everyone came together to make this major possible. And I think we're going to end it by looking back on 3 weeks of Counter-Strike and just how much it meant to us.
My favorite dog is Wilf. Okay, shut up. Do I need to repeat the question?